Halt! You've just reached a smile checkpoint, and it's time to pay the fee, so put a big smile on that face. I'm here to help. I've got some amazing news that's going to tug on your heartstrings and make you go, aww. A YouTube scammer was just sentenced to over 5 years in jail for a massive fraudulent operation they've been running for the last half a decade. And boy howdy I tell ya, it's always a great feeling watching a scammer get their comeuppance. A nice knuckle sandwich from the law. And honestly, he's getting off easy here. His name is Jose Terran. And he is like the Cobra Commander of scammers. This guy is going to go down in history as one of the largest fraudsters in not only YouTube history, but music history as well. Over the course of the last 5 years, Jose has claimed 50,000 songs, meaning that he then took the rights from these songs and all of the money that those songs would generate online went into his bank account. And over the course of the 5 years he's been doing this, he's made roughly $23 million in royalty proceeds from the music he's fraudulently claimed. Bro straight up found a money tree and couldn't help but take a bite from the forbidden fruit, just like in the Garden of Eden. And now he is paying the price. He may have raked in 23 million bones, but now it's coming at the cost of over 5 years worth of his life spent in the slammer. And I really do think he's getting off easy here because this is an absolutely abhorrent case of fraud. But the wildest part is this is actually a very prevalent and out of control epidemic on YouTube itself. This scam is not something Jose came up with. This is very common right now and used by a lot of other shady scumbags. In fact, I'm not here to start pointing fingers here and, calling out sailors on the ship. I'm not trying to lead a mutiny. But there's even some beloved YouTubers that do pretty much exactly what Jose did on a smaller scale. We'll talk about all of that in a minute. I just want to quickly thank today's video sponsor, Opera GX. Opera GX just has so many tools that really allow you to customize it to your liking, as well as even allowing you to limit how much CPU and RAM the browser uses with GX Control. GX Control allows you to enhance your performance on PC when gaming by changing the amount of CPU and RAM you're willing to allocate to the browser, which makes it a lot less of a load on your system, unlike something like Chrome, for example, which is a resource hog. Another great feature is, of course, GX mods, and there's even a mod pack for me on there as well, if that sounds interesting, where you can change browser sounds. Yeah, baby! So yeah, all kinds of customizable wallpapers, and a lot of other interesting things that you can toy around with and adjust thanks to things like GX mods. And when you download using my link, you can see my latest 12 uploads in the Opera GX corner. So if you're interested in starting with Opera GX, you can download it for free in the description. Thanks again to Opera for sponsoring. Before diving into the bigger picture of this whole situation, let's focus on the particulars of Jose's case here. Now, he's considered a person of high risk to reoffend. They even cited that he obtained more than $6 million in personal profits and continued pocketing another $190K of stolen royalties, which he hid. And the hefty sentence was really necessary to deter him from launching future scams because he's planning to remain in the music business. I want to stop it right there. How the fuck is this even considered a hefty sentence? He stole $23 million. 23 million clams that he had no right to, he stole. Now let me walk you through how the scam works. Someone like Jose and other awful people like Jose will set up these fraudulent businesses and they'll go on a copyright claiming bender. Like, we're talking full-blown, like 10 lines of coke, stay up 24 hours programming bots in order to flag content on YouTube that they will copyright claim to take the money from. On YouTube, when you copyright claim a piece of content, you then get the ad revenue from it, even though it wasn't you who posted the video. This happens to everyone's channel at some point. At some point, someone created a piece of like music or something that plays in the background of a game you're playing or something, and it'll get flagged in the system, and when that's there, you lose all of the ad revenue from the content, and it goes to the person who made that piece, or is claiming they made that piece. That's how it works. In theory, it's supposed to be there to protect copyright holders from people that are just re-uploading their shit. Instead of just like taking it down, you have the option to instead just take the money from it and it can stay up. But there's a lot of people that exploit this process, like Jose, where you don't have the rights to 50,000 songs here, but you're still claiming it because YouTube's system is fucking archaic. And there's not a whole lot of safeguards in place. A great example to highlight how unacceptably dog shit the current system is on YouTube, a community member of Destiny 2, just a person, just a, red-blooded, God-fearing human being, a normal person, noticed that this is a complete oversight from the system. And in the Destiny 2 community, he got really fed up with the way Bungie was doing something. They got very upset. I don't want to go into all the details here, so I'm not going to get like too deep into the weeds. But basically, they were disgruntled, and in order to get back at not only the community, but Bungie themselves, they started copyright claiming a ton of content in the Destiny community. And they were claiming it as if it was Bungie doing it. So Bungie got a lot of flack, a lot of shit for it, and then eventually they got so bold and brazen that they copyright claimed Bungie themselves. Bungie's own content that they were posting on YouTube, their Destiny 2 content, this guy started taking the rights of. So it's very exploitable and has been exploited many times. And it's illegal, highly illegal. That guy's facing some serious life-changing repercussions from all of that. And now Jose is as well. But the point is, it is exploited often. It happened a lot and blew up in a big way a couple months back on TikTok, where people started to notice that there's these Spotify accounts set up that just play like random common sound effects like Roblox oof, or like that gong sound effect when something happens, like when you, I don't know, drink milk too fast on TikTok and it's like gong, I'm gonna shit my pants. Like those sound effects. Someone had made Spotify accounts and were actually claiming those sound effects so that way they could take the ad revenue from YouTube videos that use them. It's someone that obviously didn't work on any of the sound effects or anything, but they noticed that they could claim the individual sound effects and then take the ad revenue. So the point is, this is a very common scam and it's a fucking problem. And Jose did this for half a decade, claimed over 50,000 songs that were not his, stealing money directly from those artists in order to profit himself, and he's only getting a little over 5 years in jail. I think that is a far cry from a hefty sentence. And the only reason that it's even that high is because they think he's at a high risk for reoffending, which he is, made over $20 million. You think this guy's not going to come right back into, hop onto the saddle again for another 20 million doubloons? Of course he will. So 5 years is comical. This should have been like an absolute statement. They should have made an example out of Jose here with a super serious sentence, because they got to put the kibosh on this shit. It's already out of control, and it's only going to get worse as people realize just how profitable it is to make these fraudulent copyright claims. So I totally disagree that this is hefty. This is light sentencing for this guy. And it's not just him. In fact, there is another one of his associates that is facing sentencing soon, but I imagine it's going to be roughly the same charges and the same time in jail. So it looks like there's going to be a restitution hearing soon, and right now the amount is set at $1.4 million to the victims of this scam, but they're trying to connect with more victims, but it's a little difficult because a lot of them are outside the US. A little insight into how this scam works was highlighted here in the Ars Technica article. It said that Batista, which was Jose's, teammate here, they duo queued to start this scam. They began in 2017, and they started the label known as Media Move. And the goal was to seize unearned royalties by claiming ownership of songs on YouTube that they noticed weren't actively monetized, meaning they didn't have any ads running on it, which is something you can see even as just a viewer. If you go on like a video or a song and there's no pre-roll ad, there's no banner ad or display ad somewhere, you can comfortably say that no one's making money from it. So what they would do is they would target content like that and claim it, which they didn't have the rights to. It's not theirs to do that. But that was their whole business model, hunting this content down and putting it under their umbrella. Eventually, they even partnered with a management group called AdRev in order to give it like more credibility. So it wasn't just immediately red flagged as a huge fucking scam. Like 50,000 songs, that's a lot to be claiming ownership of. But no, wait, no, it looks like they're partnering with AdRev. This must be legit. So it was kind of deep. Deeper than a lot of the other scammers that go this route on YouTube, which is probably why they were so successful and made so much money. This is a great section here, just laying out the timeline. This wasn't exactly like a jump scare to the community. A lot of people had been tipped off about this and fighting against Media Move for quite a while, because obviously the people who made the content that was getting claimed knows that it's a bunch of baloney. Like it's straight up fish paste. They made it, and it's getting claimed by a company they've never fucking heard of before. So they did fight against Media Move for years, but it kept getting pushed aside, it seemed. But in 2019, the IRS launched an investigation after they became a little suspicious with the amount of bank accounts Media Move had that were sometimes registered under fake names. And I really like this section here, so I'm just going to read it. Everyone knows how the scam works, and it's unclear if much has been done to stop future YouTube scammers from using the same playbook and targeting more artists. Artists attempted to bring a class action lawsuit against YouTube to gain access to systems to monitor their royalties and stop royalty theft, but that case was dismissed earlier this month before going to trial. I'll answer that question. Nothing has been done to prevent this from happening again in the future, and it is still continuing to happen right now. I briefly mentioned at the beginning of the video that some YouTubers actually use this same fucking method. Unfortunately, it's become a bit of a nuclear weapon that sometimes these creators will use to either silence criticism or just out of pure greed. An amazing example that we just covered a month ago is Alex Edson of Business Casual when he tried to take down a channel he felt was competition to his. He issued fraudulent copyright strikes. So he went above a copyright claim. He wasn't just taking the ad revenue. He was straight up taking the entire channel down because he believed that that channel used an image that was somewhat similar to an image he used in his video. This just highlights just how broken the system is. So if he wanted to, he could continue to do that and copyright claim other channels and keep making that same argument about like, oh no, that's my image and you stole it from me. And he'd get away with it because the system doesn't have anything in place to stop that. Now, Alex Edson at Business Casual was unsuccessful in his nefarious evil plot. Thank God. But he's still an absolute unforgivable piece of shit for what he's done, and there's a lot of other content creators that engage in similar behavior, maybe not always motivated out of like, you know, getting rid of competition. I need to make sure there's no one left in the world except my channel, so I'm gonna take them all down. But a lot of them are just motivated by greed, where they'll start copyright claiming people's content who like maybe make a meme out of something they did, or even criticize something they did. That's happened a lot over the history of YouTube, so it is unfortunately a system that needs a drastic overhaul, and it's not getting that tender love and care that it needs to be in a good state. So squeaky wheel needs the grease. The squeaky wheel really needs the grease. Otherwise, Jose and Batista here that got 23 million from fraudulently claiming just completely innocent artist music will continue to pop up over the course of the next few years and will only continue to snowball. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this. I think it's great that they did get caught and are being punished. I just wish the punishment was more severe because I just don't think the punishment fits the crime here. They likely won't even serve their full time in jail, and they got away with so much money for quite a long period of time. So I think the sentencing needed to be harsher, and hopefully as more people are caught doing this, the sentencing will continue to increase. So that way it can finally deter people from trying it more in the future. But anyway, that's about it. See ya. Why do I look like a Tony Hawk American Wasteland character? Well, it's because when we were doing our Twilight movie marathon like a year ago, a buddy of mine named Ridley had this shirt and he gave it to me and I thought it was cool. And then today, a friend of mine let me have this Shadow the Hedgehog chain. And I thought the two of these together was one of the most diabolical fits I could put together, so that's why I'm in this ensemble. But it's also like perfectly matching today's video because the vibe is right on the money for crypto bro degeneracy. So the big story today is about the 13-year-old that rugged people with his quant shitcoin. CoffeeZilla posted a video going in depth on it into the nitty gritty. I'm here just to point and laugh at the whole thing. So if you want like actual smart discussion on it, definitely check out Voidzilla for his coverage.
Meme coins, Gen Z in particular has gotten interested with one called Gen Z Quant rug pulling a token recently, and well, it kind of went viral for all the wrong reasons.
Well, oh, it was nuked. It was a nuke.
No way.
Oh,
Holy holy
You full clip.
holy thanks for the 20 bandos.
Imagine being a grown-ass adult and putting your hard-earned cash into a meme coin called Gen Z Quant that is made by an actual toddler, a milk-drinking, pudding-eating, fidget-spinning baby, and then being surprised that you lost money on it. Even if he didn't blatantly rug you and spit in your face laughing at you for being a deplorable idiot, you still should have never treated that as some kind of Galaxy Brain investment. That was always going to just be a donation to Chuck E. Cheese troop. That is the stupidest shit ever. Now, I know crypto's blowing up huge again. Trust me, I'm well aware of that. But this is not how you get ahead of the curve. Like, I know FOMO is huge, you know, fear of missing out, so everyone's just putting as much money as they can, throwing all their clams into every shitcoin imaginable, hoping for these moonshots. But this is just a new level. This is turbo moron shit that not even Patrick Star would recommend. You would have had a better chance of making money if you took $1,000 and just asked a random person on the street to double it for you. It's so incomprehensibly stupid, and it only gets worse, by the way.
So look, I don't know. There's so much here, from pretending you aren't selling.
Wait, what?
He said, wait,
Wait,
what?
I'm so confused.
To like, what's going on? To the double middle fingers, you know, to the thanks for the 20 bands.
Thanks for the 20 bandos.
Now, in total, he made about $30,000 on this coin. He then launched another coin called I'm Sorry, where he rug pulled that for about $10,000, and then launched another coin about his dog, which he also rug pulled for another $10,000.
The kid said, you know what's better than scamming dummies once? Twice. And you know what's better than 2 times? 3. This man went for the back-to-back-to-back triple heat scammerooski. And every time, people kept putting money into it, and he kept rugging them. He made 50 grand off people putting money into his shitcoins. So he rugged them the first time with Quant. Then you've got all of the investors hitting their whippets and feeling really sorry for themselves. So the kid comes back with the I'm Sorry coin. They're like, okay, maybe this is the redemption arc. I'll put money into this one. Surely it won't happen again. Bang. It happens again. And then fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. I need to check myself into the Arkham Asylum, a mental institution. I need to be fucking locked up because somehow they went back again. Not just for seconds, for thirds. They bought into another shitcoin from the kid, which he rugged immediately too. He rugged the same people 3 times for a profit of $50,000. Holy shit. This wasn't taking candy from a baby. This was a baby taking candy from you.
You can see that all here. Here's his $30,000 rug pull. Then he does the Sorry rug pull for $13,000, I guess. And then finally, his dog Lucy rugs for $11,000. And I gotta say, the third time, maybe you could have said the first time, he caught you. The second time, he got you. You said sorry, you thought it was real. The third time, you deserve that one. Actually, if you bought into this, you probably deserved all 3. It's very, it's embarrassing that this is like a popular thing.
Coffeezilla pins the tail on the donkey. You deserve all 3. 100%. It is beyond embarrassing. Being an adult with money and investing in a 13-year-old's meme coin on a fucking service called Pump.Fun, which, by the way, Coffeezilla brings it up in his video, so I recommend you check that out if you want more insight on it. Pump.Fun is the one that makes all of the money from these, and your odds of actually making money from it are unbelievably low, to the point where you almost have the same odds of just winning the lottery, straight up. Like, people go in there with the assumption that, oh, I'm here early, yes, it's probably a scam, but I will be the one that capitalizes off the scam. The data actually suggests, and Coffeezilla goes over it, that is so rare because you fail to take into account the insider trading. You're not the one that's in on the scam, you are the victim, no matter how much you think you're not. So, you will likely never be the one that benefits from the rug that inevitably comes with these shitcoins. Now, the story is still not over because the kid that created Quant, well, it actually didn't die with the rug pull. You see, some of the people that put money into it were so salty that they decided to run it up, and they brought the market cap to a crazy number. I don't remember exactly what the number is, but they drove the value through the fucking roof.
Tens of millions of dollars of market cap. The kid's supply, they say, would have supposedly been worth, you know, like $2 million or $1.2 million. You can see that here. His original holdings worth $1.28 million. And then they doxed the kid, which, you know, is really bad. But I think it's funny. Like, people are like, ooh, we got you because you rugged us and then we made it worth a lot of money. But you would have never done that if he didn't rug pull you. I don't know. It's just so, it doesn't make any sense. And honestly, it sounds like cope from people who are trying to do a secondary scam where they got scammed and then they need people to buy in so they can get out of the token.
Apparently the logic was they wanted to make the kid feel bad, like, you got 30 grand, but your supply could have actually been worth millions, you know? That was the thought process there, like, make him feel like a fucking idiot for it. Not us, the adults that got scammed by a 13-year-old. But as Coffeezilla said, it really feels like the reason they did that is because they lost that money, they got upset about it, so then they pumped it themselves in order to get other people to buy into it so they could get out. So that way they could get their money back from the scam. So the whole thing is a fucking mess. It is degeneracy from top to bottom here. And they doxed the 13-year-old as well. It's just craziness that grown adults that are capable of using a computer are not capable of recognizing that giving money to a 13-year-old's shitcoin is a bad idea. And then not only that, they do it again. And then they do it again. That is literally putting your hand on a hot stove 3 times before you realize that it's hot. And in fact, I don't even know if they came to that conclusion because he stopped at 3 shitcoins as far as I could tell. If he launched a 4th shitcoin, he could have probably kept doing this and continuously farming them forever. An infinite money glitch off of the same people that he initially scammed. Like, that's mind-boggling. So yeah, I just had to talk about this because holy shit. That's really about it. So yeah. There are so many scams out there, and some of them are downright ridiculous that you have to ask yourself, how could anyone ever fall for these? Such as the classic Nigerian prince. I have millions of dollars, but the US government won't let me transfer it to my bank account. Can I send it to your bank account to send back to me? That kind of thing, and we'll split the profits or whatever. And then it ends up with people losing all of their money, or those random cold call tech support messages. Hello, I work for Microsoft and your calculator has a virus. We're going to need 4 Bitcoin in order to solve this. This is an official Microsoft representative. And somehow those scams actually succeed. Usually the victims are geriatric, they're on the older side of things, so they're not tech savvy and end up getting caught hook, line, and sinker in these. But there are oftentimes scams that do hit a younger generation, like crypto scams, or RuneScape, God rest all of the souls that fell victim for the free armor trimming or money duping scams. I myself, even well into my adulthood, have fallen for RuneScape scams. But today I want to share with you, by far, the stupidest scam I have ever seen. And this one was trying to target insurance companies, which is like trying to scam on Ultra Nightmare mode. 2 intellectual scholars hatched the genius scheme of intentionally giving one of them frostbite in both of his legs so that they need to be amputated and claim over $1 million in insurance money. They hatched this plan where it was an accident, something had gone wrong and he lost both of his legs, and thus insurance would need to give them a huge, fat, chunky payday, tons of doubloons. But as you'll see, things didn't quite go according to plan. And even if they did, it's the stupidest plan in the world to intentionally get rid of both of your legs to try and scam the insurance company and then split that money. That's the second time someone mentioned that guy. I'll look it up. So it was a college student who amputated his legs on purpose by getting frostbite for an insurance scam. Student alleges friend convinced him to amputate legs to claim $1.7 million in insurance money. The 23-year-old kept his feet in a bucket of dry ice for 10 hours and later claimed the frostbite was a result of riding a scooter at night. 23-year-old university student in Taiwan has had his legs amputated in an alleged insurance scam gone wrong. Seems like it went right. That was like the whole plan. This went all according to the scheme. In fact, it couldn't have gone more right for him. Taiwan's Criminal Investigation Bureau recently announced the student, identified as Chang, has been charged with insurance fraud as a result of the scheme. According to local media reports, Chang allegedly kept his feet in a bucket filled with dry ice for 10 hours, leading to severe frostbite and necrosis below the knee. He applied for compensation from 8 insurance policies after the amputation, allegedly hoping to pocket $1.7 million, and claimed the frostbite was the result of riding a scooter at night. I really feel like $1.7 million and losing both of your legs is not worth it. You should at least be going for 8 figures. Like, $1.7 million is a ton of fucking money, but that's not like set for life type money like generational wealth or anything. Especially to give away both of your legs. Man lost both his legs and got a felony charge. Yeah. Yikes. Doctors since something was off, though, noting an absence of shoe or sock marks and the symmetry of his injuries. The weather conditions on the night of the alleged incident were also not consistent with frostbite. Beyond that, Chang had taken out multiple insurance policies just days earlier. Chang allegedly worked with a co-conspirator, also 23, and identified as Lau. Chang claimed Lau was the mastermind behind the scheme, concocting a story that gang members were after him for an outstanding debt, when in reality, Lau had incurred financial losses from trading cryptocurrency. Oh my god. Is there a bigger clown on the planet? Could there be a bigger clown on the planet? This is worse than getting cucked. This is like 10x in terms of humiliation. You let Your crypto bro friend convinced you to get your legs amputated so you could make up for his financial losses? What a waste. What a fucking buffoon. The duo were originally high school classmates. The indictment reportedly states on January 26, 2023, Chang and Lau rode scooters to purchase dry ice in New Taipei City's Shangchong district. They later returned to Lau's residence in Taipei City, Zongshan district, where he used cable ties to restrain Chang to a chair while he immersed his feet in dry ice from 2 a.m. until shortly after noon. Wait, this no longer sounds consensual. He tied him to the chair and left him there? Lau took photos and recorded some of the incident on his phone per the indictment. What? Why would you do that if this is supposed to be a fucking insurance scam? You're recording evidence to the contrary. How dumb is this guy? How stupid can you possibly be? There's photos of it on Reddit. Hold on, I've got to take a peek. It's not like... So the pictures aren't like gruesome or anything. It's just a picture of his friend tied down with zip ties with his legs in a bucket of dry ice. What in tarnation? Why was he tied up if it was consensual? It's probably like one of those things where even though you go into it knowing full well like you're committing to it, you're going to try and let it rip, when you actually get in the Crucible in the Thunderdome, you start panicking and freaking out like and run away or whatever, fight or flight response. So maybe this was to prevent that and he agreed to it. I don't know. Honestly, probably the dumbest plan I've ever heard of in my life. Chang went to the hospital on January 28th and his legs were amputated below the knees following more than a week of treatment. While he initially obtained nearly $10,000 through insurance claim, that money has since been seized by prosecutors and both Zhang and Lau have been charged with fraud and embezzlement. Somewhat unbelievably, a similar insurance scam unfolded in Missouri in November. What? How can there be multiple people this stupid on the planet? What? I swear, like, you don't need to look further than a couple of headlines to realize that we are actually just getting dumber as a species, for sure. In that case, a Missouri man staged farm equipment accident to appear as though he had lost his feet to a brush hog, a type of rotary mower, in hopes of making an insurance claim. But when responding medics and law enforcement officers arrived at the scene, the man's feet were nowhere to be found and his injuries appeared to be too clean to be the result of a brush hog. The man in his 60s was a known paraplegic in his lower extremities, and authorities were immediately curious about the tourniquets on his legs and who applied them. So this is a little different. This Chang had 2 fully functional legs that he parted with for $10,000. This guy was apparently a paraplegic and sacrificed his feet to try and get some insurance money. That's different. Chang is still significantly fucking dumber. According to police, the man had been aided in the attempted scam by a Florida man who had cut off the man's legs with a hatchet. That's like some Winnie the Pooh blood and honey type shit. Investigators later determined that the incident has been an attempt to make a faulty insurance claim, but because the man never formally filed the false claim, he was not charged or identified. According to police, days after they responded to the scene, a relative found the man's feet in a bucket on the property which had been obscured by tires. So he kept it as like a little souvenir, like a trophy. According to the Bureau, Lau and Zhang were both charged with fraud, aiding and abetting serious injury. After the detention on January 17th, the authorities said that Zhang received one insurance payout of $7,200. However, it will be seized, and the insurance providers canceled the other claims filed following the incident due to the short period between receiving the policies and filing them. Rest in peace to both of his legs, and also all of his financial future. He's getting a fucking felony slapped on top of this. All that for nothing. Less than nothing. All that for significantly less than nothing. And there's yet another case in Slovenia where a woman cut off her hand with a circular saw for $1.2 million insurance scam. She's now serving a 2-year jail sentence. Are insurance scams even easy in the first place? I feel like they probably were a while ago, but it became so common with people faking insurance claims after getting hit by a car that they probably cracked down on it in a big way. I feel like it's probably pretty fucking tough these days. You were the victim of one? That's called ambulance chasing. It's not necessarily the same thing. I'm talking about like the classic fucking red-blooded American good old-fashioned insurance scam where you run in front of a car that's barely moving, throw yourself on it, and start hooting and hollering. No, that's true. Maybe with the rise of dash cams and just general cameras everywhere, it might be just harder because of that. Back in 2001, there was a guy who charged people $20 to watch him cut off his own legs with a guillotine. Look up Cut Off My Feet if you want to read about it. $20 admission to watch a man cut off his legs? What? Oh, Wang made a video on it. Cut Off My Feet, Tales from the Internet. Yeah, he's got a whole video on it. Man, oh, here's an article from it in 2001. Man cut off his feet live on the internet and charged $20 for it. A disabled American man says he's going to cut off his own feet by guillotine on live pay-per-view. Again, this is another person who's, much like the Missouri man, did this when he didn't have his legs functioning. Very different from Chang, who took his own legs for the sake of insurance money. Mr. Paul Morgan from Mississippi says he needs prosthetic feet because a lower leg injury made it impossible for him to walk, but he says medical insurance will not cover the cost of surgery, so he's asking web users to pay for the privilege of watching him do it by guillotine. Mr. Morgan has launched cutoffmyfeet.com to publicize his unusual venture. Of the 150,000 people who have visited the site, so far only 10 visitors have paid $20 to witness the event. Oh no! Oh no! It was a flop! Damn! Damn! Sold more tickets than Madam Web, but still, damn! According to the site, Mr. Morgan was injured in 1986 after he fell from the back of a truck and was run over by a boat trailer being towed by a vehicle. God damn. I mean, he made a whole spectacle out of this. He said a local anesthetic will be used during the procedure and an ambulance will be on standby. When asked if he was looking forward to pushing the button on the guillotine, he said, yes, the sooner this is done, the sooner it's over and new feet come. This man turned this into like a fucking creator clash level event. We got the anesthetic and the ambulance on standby. We've also got this truss put up with some lights above it so it'll be like a WWE match. It seems like he was going to do it one way or the other because insurance wouldn't cover it. So I imagine he did it. Boo! Quick jump scare. I just want to quickly shout out Starforge Systems, the best PCs in the universe. It's a company I've been a part of since the start. And recently, I guess a lot of people are waking up and opening their third eye to the beauty of PC gaming because I've been getting asked a lot about where to start when it comes to PC gaming. So I just want to quickly talk about Starforge because we have the best PCs available. If you're someone who's just starting to dabble with PC gaming, we have a line called the Horizon series, which is just perfect for the everyday gamer. Or if you're someone looking for top-of-the-line equipment, top-notch, looking to upgrade to the best available, we have an entire line called the Voyager series. At Starforge, we have several different PCs at different price points, so you can always find the PC that's right for you and your needs. It's premium quality, impeccable attention to detail, white glove service at an accessible price point, and each computer comes with a full 2-year parts and labor warranty. Also, the logo is a hammer, not a penis. So yeah, if you're looking to upgrade your current PC or looking to get started with PC gaming, I highly recommend Starforge. I'll put a link in the description below. Tai Lopez is arguably the most iconic scammer in YouTube history. He's the mastermind behind the classic, "Here in my garage, just bought this Lamborghini" clip. Throughout the years, no name has commanded less respect than Tai Lopez. He is just a clown people shoot spitballs at. He is just like the communal piñata that people used to love to hit, take shots at, like a little punching bag. And it was always good fun because he's a piece of shit. He is literally a scammer. And not many people know this, but he's actually still around. This cockroach has persisted and he still posts videos and still tries to sell courses and seminars. So I wanted to take a look at one of his more recent ones, a tour of his $100 million mansion. Except it's not his mansion, he's leasing it. And he's not trying to hide that fact either. He wears it proudly on his sleeve and spends 17 minutes coping trying to convince his audience that leasing a $100 million property is actually a galaxy brain Giga Chad financial decision, and tries to convince them that leasing is better than buying in a lot of cases. It is unbelievable delusion.
So let me give you the reasons why I just leased this $100 million house in Beverly Hills. Why would I lease this for a year? Is that crazy?
It's beyond crazy. It's plain brain dead. This is plus ultra moron shit here. Leasing a $100 million property, and trying to posture it as a good thing and a smart financial decision, that is baffling. Now, I know Tai Lopez is just a complete fake person. Like, he even moves around like an NPC out of GTA, like some kind of character you'd find on the street that's like falling over or getting bullied by someone. But like this, like, it's become his whole persona. You know, I'm oiled up in my garage, rubbing my wiener on my Lamborghini, you know, that kind of thing, like flexing these wealthy things. But this is so unbelievable to me, where he's trying to position a lease on a $100 million property as a good thing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what Felix Dennis, he had the 3 F's rule. If it flies, floats, or lease it, don't buy it.
A mansion does none of those things, except fuck you in the face. Like, I understand that this is all for show. I think there's a very real chance he's not even leasing this property, and I'll get into that in a moment. As he's doing the walkthrough, this place is more barren and empty than my fucking 16th birthday party. Like, I don't think he even leased it. I think he asked the realtor if he can just film a video in there so he could promote his seminars. The only reason he's at this property and making this video is to try and push gullible fools into purchasing his courses and attending his seminars and that kind of fucking nonsense, just to keep exploiting people.
But that's not the real reason. I'm gonna give you the reasons why I would do something crazy, because we live in a world, it's like if you lease a Lamborghini, people think, oh, this person's dumb, or they're trying to pretend, or if they lease a house, you know, this isn't an Airbnb, this is a long-term lease. People are like, oh, and I'm going, no, use your brain. They don't teach us in school financial literacy.
It's not financial literacy, it's substantial idiocy. If you used your brain for even a second, just had one neuron activation moment, you would recognize how stupid this whole thing is.
I buy farmland. I own farms. This is number one. There are things you should buy and things you should lease.
Ty loves to go on and on about the farms that he owns, and I'm confident he's never stepped foot on them for even a second past the initial handshake of purchasing it. If that's even a true story, it's impossible to know with Ty Lopez, but if he did own farms, you bet your sweet bippy he'd say, ew, yucky, smelly animals, and run away. To tie it all back to Ty's 10 commandments here of leasing, I'm going to go ahead and poke some holes into that theory here. There are things you should buy, and there are things you should lease in some cases. You know what one thing you should never lease is? A $100 million mansion, no matter how well off you are. I don't even understand this from a conceptual standpoint, because this just looks pathetic. It looks weak. And I feel even the most brainwashed of suckers would see that too. Like, let's say I'm someone susceptible to Ty Lopez's manipulation. And I'm like, Ty Lopez, he's got all the secrets to wealth. If I follow him, I'll be a multimillionaire too. And then I watch this video, I would look at Ty Lopez like a little fucking vermin for it. Because this is him paying a richer man to film content in that house. This isn't his house. He's very open about leasing this. He is paying someone more wealthy and more successful than him to ask him if he can kind of stay there while filming YouTube videos. Like, that's not a financial guru, that's a bitch.
What I also like about this house, and reason number 2, is a lease for tax purposes and deductions. If you've got a big wing of business like I do, you get better tax deductions on a lease versus a purchase. I use this little thing to separate. Actually, let's go this way first.
I love that he has the business wing sectioned off here. Why? What's happening over there? Is that where the owner is and he's fucking your girlfriend, Ty? Like, I don't understand. Who in their own home would be like quarantining the business wing? That'd be like me setting up an obstacle course to get into my office here. That's where I do the high-level stuff, so naturally I've got it blockaded.
Yeah, it's a sitting room, but I'm gonna put in grand piano. I like to play the piano.
You runny-nosed little worm, why are you lying to me? I know you're not putting a grand piano in there.
Number 3 is flexibility. Next reason is charity.
Yes, charity. Nothing says helping the community quite like living in a $100 million mansion that you're leasing. He's doing it for the people at the end of the day. He's not selfish. He's leasing this property because he's uplifting those around him, helping everyone that he can through this. And he stays flexible, of course. He's not married to this home. If he wants to, he can go get a $200 million lease on my fucking butthole. Like, he's got so many options.
Never just live for yourself. I call it the 50-50 rule. You should spend 50% of your life living for yourself and your family and people who depend on you, but 50% live for the good of others. So this house is amazing. I already did a big event, a charity pool party You know, this backyard will hold 800 people, and I sold tables, and all the profit from the little tables in the back went to charity. So you can do good with a big house.
Might actually be one of the weakest arguments I've ever heard for why some narcissistic loser would lease a $100 million property. Well, actually, there's so much good you can do with a big house like this. I threw a pool party and I sold tables. I don't know what that means, full disclosure. I don't know what that... You sold tables? Is that like code for baby oil? Is this like a freak off or something? Like, I don't know what he's saying with that, but whatever. I sold tables and I gave money to charity. Okay, you could also just give the money to charity without leasing a $100 million home. Like, that home didn't help you do any of that. It doesn't make any sense what you're trying to say here. I also love how he tries to get really philosophical, like he's a man's man, you gotta live for yourself sometimes, but then live for others, like your family. Speaking of family, Ty, where's your wife and kids? You're pushing 50 and you still don't have a family, man. You're still on this stupid fucking grind set mentality, trying to scam people through dog shit YouTube videos and seminars like this.
Next reason to lease versus buy is maintenance responsibility. You know how expensive this house is to maintain? So I love the fact that it's like you're not responsible really for the maintenance if you negotiate your lease right.
Another great reason to lease versus buy is I'm too fucking lazy to do any of it myself, so I'll put that responsibility on the person that I'm leasing from. Yeah. Cool flex, Ty. I can't be bothered to do anything except sit here and make YouTube shorts promoting nonsense to fools. So I'll let someone else take care of like the actual stuff.
Pool, I like swimming is underrated, man. Jogging's hard on the joints. Swimming, there's a certain magic. You look at those people like the Maoris, like The Rock, people from the South Pacific are in some of the best shape historically, the people who swam a lot. So I love swimming. I don't know why we still have all the ropes up, but I like to do my workouts outside when I can.
What the fuck are you yapping about, man? What? Just say you like to swim. I don't know why he's going into this whole spiel about it. I don't think he swims, for what it's worth. I just don't believe anything that ever comes out of Tai Lopez's mouth, to be honest with you. I bet he hasn't even dipped his toes into that pool, because it might be a little too chilly or something. But, like, I don't even understand why he's even going on about this. And then he says, I like to do my workouts outside, and there's like 5 dumbbells there that go up to like maybe 20 pounds. Getting a real big pump out there, huh, Ty? He is making this shit up on the spot. Like I said, I don't think he actually even leases this place. I think a realtor just granted him permission to come through while it was being cleaned for a serious buyer. Because he's just walking through, like, pointing at shit and going on these completely nonsensical tangents. Yeah, I like to do my workouts outside, which is why all those heavy dumbbells are over there. A lot of ropes around here from last night's hootenanny. Yeah, we had a big shindig last night. I don't know why the ropes are still up.
Another reason, it's a great opportunity to test a place. So if you negotiate a lease correctly, you can a lot of times put that you have first option to buy. So it's a great way. This is the guest house here in the pool. I got friends that stay here. My mom, when she comes to visit, she likes to stay close but be a little bit separate, so she stays here in the pool house.
Yeah, you get to guinea pig the house for a little bit, do a bit of beta testing. Yeah, there's a pool house. I kind of confine my mom to these quarters when she's around here. She loves to come over, and I have so many friends. You guys know how many friends I have. I have lots and lots of friends, and sometimes they'll stay here too when my mom's not, taking up the joint, you know what I mean? So, yeah, also, like, he's just going around making up stories for shit. He is just spitballing lore for things that he sees, like a game of I Spy.
This is where we had the tables for the charity thing. It was pretty cool. We had the DJ over there. So this room, I'm turning, Anton's here, CEO here. He's getting some work done, but this is becoming the game room.
Is Anton even alive over there? It looks like he's out cold. You should be going over there to check for a pulse, brother. Man looks like he overdosed on chill pills. I also just don't even think Tai Lopez knows who that is. His name's probably not even Anton. He probably just pulled that out of his ass. Maybe he is the CEO of something. I don't have a clue. But to me, it just really feels like there's some random people in this house and Tai Lopez is scrambling to try and explain why they're there. Like, oh, hey, it's Jerichimo, hey, up top. Ah, yeah. Good game last night. Yeah, Dricamo was at the charity function last night. He donated $5 million to the charity we were partying for, and then I think he ended up having like a threesome or something. But anyway, it's great to see you. Great to see you. Yeah. Oh, yep. Nope. Another charity event next week. That's right. Can't wait. Anyway, this is gonna be the game room. Gonna be a lot of games in this room.
Super Bowl, you can open this to outside. You got your own bar here, which is kind of cool. But now I want to go back to one of the points of leasing versus buying.
I wish Anton had just shot up after hearing that. Like, what the fuck? Benefits of leasing versus buying? Are you out of your mind? Are you off your gourd? I also can't help but just appreciate that Ty Lopez talks about like the bar over there, and then like slowly walks over there, fee-fi-fo-fums, just to spank it for no reason, just to slap it.
A reason that I like to do a $100 million huge house is it's easier to clearly delineate what's personal and what's business. I section it off.
What the hell is even that? One of the biggest benefits to a big house in Ty Lopez's eyes is his ability to effectively section off what's business and what's personal. Do you not have object permanence? Are you 5 years old? Man thinks if he's not in his office, it just disappears. So he has to set up these blockers to remind him, like, office on that side, that's where business is. You can't just be an adult and know that your office is where your business shit is. Everything else is your personal shit. Like, what? How dumb are you?
Change your life right here. I'm loading all my books in. I have other homes, so I'm trying to decide, do I want to buy all new books because this place got such a good library, or do I want to ship books? I have more books in boxes on one of my farms. Okay, here, as I said, one of the advantages of leasing versus buying is the business element of it. Here, this house has a ballroom. I have a lot of my C-suite, not all my employees, but I have like the leaders come.
I fail to see how that's an advantage of leasing versus buying, because you could still get that same effect through buying. If you own the house, you could still have them in that same ballroom, like your little fucking personal sweatshop here. Like, it's not like leasing helped you do that better or gave you the ability to do that, whereas buying wouldn't.
Rick Field here, one of the chief branding officers, the world's largest monitor. But yeah, this is a cool place. It's got very finely crafted kind of all of this work that they did is pretty incredible.
One thing I find very interesting is Ty Lopez walks around this house like a fucking ghost. Everyone around him treats him as if he's invisible. So he's like directly talking about Rick Field, who's in earshot. Like, he is right next to him. Ty's breathing down his shoulder. Rick doesn't even give him the time of day, doesn't look at him. Anton, another example, never even acknowledges Ty Lopez's presence, doesn't even look up at him. Neither does anyone in that room. I don't think they know Ty. I really don't.
Very important. Heidi keeps a lot of my books. Here, tú puedes poner esto on mí. The books I read, I stick in my office, so I put them all here. Esto no. I read this one. I like to go to sleep by reading 3 or 4 books. If you ain't sleeping well, don't be scrolling on your phone. Read.
Turns out Ty actually had some surprise books upstairs that he hadn't fully loaded into his shelves down there. So the books on the shelves, those are the ones that he reads. The ones upstairs, that's a totally different set of books. So he starts fishing through there. This book, and this book, and this book, and then just hands it to Heidi. And then he says he reads 3 to 4 books before going to bed. Impossible? You don't do that? I know you don't. What do you mean you read 3 to 4 books? Like maybe picture books or something where you flip through Green Eggs and Ham, perhaps, but you're not reading full books every night before bed? No shot. That's not happening.
I haven't fully even, I don't spend all my time here. California is not my main home, is somewhere else. And I also live in Europe part-time. So another reason to lease, why leased versus purchase, is I like to have multiple homes. And I feel like when you own something, you see it as your nest egg and you literally don't travel as much. I know that's psychological, but it's true.
I just cannot believe that he's saying these things on camera to his audience, because it is so clear to anybody watching this how full of shit this man is. So you're telling me you lease tons of homes apparently and live a lot of different places. You're leasing a $100 million home. despite not really spending that much time here. Why? Why lease a $100 million home then? You are actually just flushing money down the shitter. The reason you'd buy multiple homes if you've reached like an absurd level of wealth is you're building equity. Like you're building things. Like you are able to make money off those investments long term. Here, you are actually just burning money. So you're bad with money is what you're admitting to here, Ty. I cannot believe that he's not able to process that.
I've got a big party coming up. By the way, I'm doing these mansion seminars in the ballroom and I do these charity parties. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to see the calendar of the upcoming stuff.
Gorsh. Absolutely, Ty. Sign me up. Parties, mansion seminars, and a leased $100 million property. I can't wait to be taught by the master.
This place, they used to use it for like big charity events. Brad Pitt had an event here. It's pretty cool. But, you know, a lot of times if you do it right, another thing I like is you can lease homes that will never come up for sale. It's kind of cool because sometimes people don't want to sell the whole home. So for me, life is about adventure. I'm not number one, my core drive is not material things. So like I said, I like to buy farmland. Farmland's been the best risk-adjusted return. You know, I'd rather own farms that have a productive use than just homes or mansions.
Ty's serving up a full course of the Yappy meal here on the world's slowest elevator. Why does it take so long to go 2 floors? This elevator sucks. Is there just like a couple people with like a rope slowly letting it down as Ty gets in it? How is it that slow? Jesus. And anyway, whatever he's talking about in there is fucking stupid in the first place, saying how his number one motivator is not material things. Meanwhile, his whole persona is material things and presenting material things, flexing material things, and convincing his audience that they should and can get those material things through following him. You're just so full of barnacles, Ty, it's crazy.
I don't know where we are. That goes back up. And this is you could fit up to 20 cars in the garage, but my friend's staying here and just one little Lambo. I'm trying to decide if I want to get a Phantom Rolls Royce with the driver.
That's so badass, Ty. He can't decide if he wants the Phantom or the Rolls Royce with the driver. He just has so many complex decisions. I say, why not both? You got plenty of dough lying around, right? Look at you, Ty. Just get both. You've earned it, man. You've earned it. I also love it. He's like, yeah, I don't really know where we are. Of course you don't. Of course you don't know where you are, Ty. Because I don't think you actually lease this place. You just come in here because you know the realtor and he'd let you come in here and just take a fucking tour through it while presenting as if it's yours so you could sell some fools on your fucking courses to make money off of them.
But I use this a lot. It's got a really good sound system. Beautiful chairs. I had the first night I moved in, like 5 friends, and we all, what do we watch? The Bourne Experiment. And it was like everybody fell asleep in the chairs. Everybody was snoring. Guys' night, everybody's sitting there snoring.
No, they didn't. You made that up. Of all the things that have never happened, that's definitely one of them. Well, like, you couldn't even think of an accurate Bourne title. There is no Bourne Experiment, goober. Like, he's just making shit up. And the amount of times he references his friends truly convinces me that he has no one in his life that's close to him. Nobody at all. Yeah, so I had, like, my friends, you know, they were here. We watched a movie. And then everyone fell asleep. They were, like, snoring and shit. And then, you know, my friends, they came up to me and said, thank you so much, Ty, for letting us stay here. You're such a good guy. And thank you, Ty, for making us millions of dollars. And then everyone clapped.
The next reason to buy is adventure. I'm an adventure guy. People always ask me, Ty, why are you still doing business? You know, I could have retired and had enough recurring revenue probably in like 2007 or 8. You know, why didn't I? I like adventure.
Of course. No, absolutely, Ty. He's just a real adventurous soul. And he doesn't like to be tied down by like a family or anything. He likes to do it alone. He prefers to be alone. It's his choice.
Don't be afraid to lease. As I told you at the beginning, what Felix Dennis said about the 3 Fs. So don't listen. People are financially illiterate. They're like, oh, if you didn't buy it, that's something wrong. Do the cost benefit analysis. Sometimes it makes sense to buy. Sometimes it makes sense to lease. If you know you want to be there for a long time, like farms for me.
Not a single convincing argument in favor of leasing over buying presented throughout this entire video. Because bare necessities. The core is that it's stupid to lease a $100 million mansion under any circumstances. It's a terrible idea. And he's trying so hard to spin it as like an alpha gigabrain financial guru maneuver. It's not, Ty. It's not. He then goes on to promote his seminars once more to try and get people through the door with their wallets out and piggy banks emptied. So just classic Ty Lopez shit, really. I wanted to make fun of it. That's about it. So yeah. Have any of you heard of this? Mellow Mint? I'm curious. Overwhelmingly, no. And one guy who's lying saying yes. I saw this yesterday, and it is one of the most fascinating projects I've ever seen. So I want to take you on a little journey through this project here. So it's basically nothing, but it's nothing that they're selling for $107,000 for access to a music playlist. We'll go through all of the mumbo jumbo at the top in a moment, but just take a peek at this. $107,000 for the quintessential playlist, the creme de la creme of music. 71% is dominated by the soul-penetrating melodies of the Balkans. By purchasing this, you're not only securing 2,645 songs carefully curated to move your soul, but you're also casting a vote and joining Mellow Mint in a global musical revolution by supporting our audacious vision. Immerse yourself in this unforgettable audio journey and join us on the path to reshaping the world for the better. So this isn't even music they make. This is just 2,645 tracks they pulled into Spotify, basically, and they're charging you $107,000 for access to it. Which is fascinating. And apparently their mission is to change the world by giving you access to music they deem to be high quality, which of course means nothing. It's just whatever this guy liked. So if we go back to the top here of what Mellow Mint is, I need to give you guys a look into pure lunacy. Because it's just a bunch of buzzwords that they had ChatGPT spit out for them. Once upon a time in the kaleidoscopic landscape of the music universe, an innovative entity was born, Mellow Mint. It wasn't just a brand, but a vision. A new dawn that promised to reduce human suffering worldwide using the power of music. The mastermind behind Mellow Mint had a grand design, a plan so ambitious and beautiful that it was destined to unite people across the world. The guy speaks like he's in a fucking anime. Like, this is just the most egregious scam ever. Like, this actually seems like one of those Reddit posts from back during the, like, I am euphoric, not in this moment because of some phony god, but I'm enlightened by my own intelligence or whatever. It has that energy, but in 2023. Let's say that an influential icon, a trendsetter with a powerful voice, made an unexpected purchase. They invest into the most exclusive music playlist ever to be curated. An audacious act, sure to pique curiosity among fans. It wouldn't, though. If anyone bought this, you'd just be ridiculed, rightfully, and bullied, rightfully, for doing so. I don't know, that sounds like a good deal. Well, it is the most exclusive music playlist ever to be curated, so maybe I'll hear the 2,645 tracks and I'll get taller, I'll be happier, my beard will be fuller. It's all possible. The way he speaks about this makes it sound like it's a goddamn panacea to all of the world's ailments. A story unravels as the world tunes into the influencer's content, mesmerized by the unique symphony of sounds found in the Mellow Mint playlist. Excitement builds. The rhythm of Mellow Mint hypnotizes the masses, launching a viral movement of unity, a symphony of shared experience. Like, I can already just hear their pinky out as they're typing this. As the echoes of Mellow Mint reverberate, our vision broadens. Unexpected, but very much needed, musical collaborations start to happen on the global plane. We turn the volume up on our philanthropic efforts, launching our charity initiative. Music is our tool, and with it, we will orchestrate change. And it's not even their music. Like, if this was a band doing this, I wouldn't even care as much. I'd be like, you know what? This is a fun way of marketing your music. This is just one fucking goofball goober with stained undies that just took 2,600 songs he liked on Spotify and put them into a playlist. That's it. That's it. It's crazy. Why is this not illegal? Because well, good question, actually. I was going to say because you're getting exactly what you pay for, but he's promising that this music is somehow going to change the world, basically. So, I mean, that is very fraudulent. I don't know. It's criminally delusional. He should be locked up because this man belongs in Arkham Asylum with this shit. Our melody doesn't stop there. The world becomes our dance floor as we host immersive Mellowment branded parties worldwide. These events are symphonies of togetherness and celebration, amplified by the unique rhythm of our music. The world unites under the Mellowment banner celebrating life. The one world government becomes Mellowment. Everything rolls under Mellowment's umbrella thanks to this carefully curated musical playlist. If someone's dumb enough to pay for it and fall for it, that's on them. Oh, true. That is 100% on them. Meanwhile, Mellowment evolves into a stage for undiscovered talent. We cast a spotlight on the fresh, raw voices of budding artists and producers, giving their creativity a platform. Mellowment becomes not just a brand, but a cultural phenomenon. It brings a revolution, a shift in the very way we consume, create, and celebrate music. What shift? Other than having a $100,000 entry fee. That's the only change. You have a music playlist. Those have existed for 30 years. This isn't just an ambitious plan. It's a call to action for anyone who loves music, unity, and making a difference. With Mellowment, every beat is a step closer to a world where music is the true universal language of unity. By investing in this vision, you become a part of the symphony, an architect of this global phenomenon. They're using unity more often than the fucking game engine itself uses it. That word has lost all meaning for me right now. Like, I'm already forgetting that it's a real word. I think there's a 0% chance the guy behind this actually believes this, though. It's just all designated to try and get one big whale on board. The Mellowment goals for 2023-2024. Making the world a better place through music one song at a time. What an incredibly difficult goal. How are you going to accomplish that in the next couple of months for 2023, or even in 2024? And how are you going to measure whether or not the world's a better place and whether or not it's because of your music playlist? Charity fundraiser launch, never happening. This goes right into his little piggy bank. Celebrating life with Mellowment branded parties worldwide, again, never happening. No one would go unless you paid them to go, which you're not going to do. Showcasing and helping careers of fresh producers, talent and artists, connecting artists and producers worldwide and inspiring collaborations. Lil Pump 6ix9ine Future Travis Scott making a track on Jewel Marcel Murad type beat. EU beats in the following text. I'm sure they'd love to collaborate for Mellowment. I bet they'd love to hop on that together. Lil Pump 6ix9ine Future Travis Scott vibing to Balkan music. They love Balkan music here. That was one of their big selling points for the $100,000 package. And who's to say they're not already vibing to Balkan music? US rappers collabing with EU artists on EU beats. Trap beats are boring. Well, I was just about to buy it too, and now you've insulted my tastes. I'll take my business to the other $100,000 playlists. Scoundrel. If I only knew I had 170 days left to live out my life, this is definitely where I would spend my money. If you're dying, you don't want to die without listening to this playlist, so put your money where your mouth is. The Quintessential Playlist is a handcrafted masterpiece carefully curated over decades and passionately fashioned from thousands of albums and tracks. It is an extravagant marvel in the world of music. This exclusive collection is nothing less than the culmination of a lifetime devoted to exploration and adoration of good music, an enduring testament to the transformative power of rhythm and lyrics. Who dictates whether or not it's good? Just this one weirdo's tastes? Probably not a single #1 hit on that playlist. Oh, absolutely not. You think he would besmirch the handcrafted beauty of this playlist with a Billboard topping song? Disgusting. No. This is for real music, such as the sound of 3 trash cans being banged together. Oh, yes. Just even thinking about that starting to change the world for me. Venturing far beyond the realm of the ordinary, the Quintessential Playlist is a result of countless hours, days, and years spent delving truly deep into the global music vault. Every song is handpicked meeting the toughest criteria, every track polished to perfection. every melody carrying its own unique story. This prodigious... No, that's not how you say that word. This prodigious compilation is a comprehensive reflection of the world's best musical landscape, the musical brilliance of countless artists, the raw emotion encapsulated in their creations, all harmoniously compiled into 250 hours of exquisite musical experience. Brother, what are you talking about? At the very bottom of this, it says that it's 143 hours. You're lying. This says right here, in plain, ordinary English, 2,645 tracks equate to 143 hours of listening time. Where's the 250 coming from here? Are you lying? Are you telling me a lie? Oh my god. How am I supposed to trust them now with my money? But yeah, I saw this project yesterday and I was just blown away by just how shameless it is. With a quintessential playlist, you don't just listen. You connect to the world and reaching a global audience. It's about bridging the gap between continents, cultures, and individuals, about resonating with the collective heartbeat of humanity. Experience the influence, the reach, the significance, the quintessential playlist. If there's no The Gentlemen on it, then this whole playlist is worthless. And here's the party they're talking about that's never going to be thrown. I actually feel like this is made by the guy who made Firefest, and I already forgot that fucking goofball's name. But it's basically just like the same thing. You're buying a ticket to the once-in-a-lifetime event that mirrors the vibrancy and energy of the music it celebrates. It's just a blatant scam. That image was generated by AI, was it? Oh yeah, it was. The hands are fucked up. This actually is just an AI image. Cute. Well, I mean, he's not saying the party's been thrown yet. It's just, it's coming. And this is them showing you that. Oh! I never even scrolled down this far. There's a $35 taste test. Not ready to commit? No worries at all. The taste test will change your mind. Dip your toes into the boundless ocean of music with our sample offering. A finely curated selection of 17 extraordinary tracks gives you a small yet immersive glimpse into the mellow mint universe. Soul-stirring heart of Balkan tunes, electric energy of European rap pop, and an intoxicating whisper of sultry reggaeton. If you pay $35 for a fucking playlist, you deserve to go to jail. Straight up. And if you pay $107,000 for access to a playlist, you deserve to go to hell. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This is tragic. Very cool, though. That's the mellow mint difference. We might start seeing a subtle change in the world for the better, and we'll know who to thank for it. But he's delivering on everything he promised. It's most certainly life-changing being $107,000 in debt. Oh, this, I would not have expected this. Here, the first thing that comes up when you go to the Mellow Mint Twitter is this tweet. The carbon emissions and global warming agenda is a globalistic construct. The climate is a dynamic system and there's so much to it. The Earth naturally cycles between hot and cold periods, which have been documented. It immediately goes into, like, this is all a globalistic agenda. When it's all about, listen to the Balkan music for $107,000, we're changing the world, unity, this and that. Very interesting. Yeah, it's shameful to admit this, but I actually fell for one of the oldest scams in the book live on stream a few days ago. Many of you know that one of my favorite streaming activities is doing a bad games night. It's where I dumpster dive through Steam's new releases to find super stinkers that nobody has ever heard of and nobody's ever played. It's a lot of fun to find enjoyably terrible games, and a lot of times I'm the first and only person to ever beat the game, which means I also end up being a speedrun champion in the game. Now, while doing a bad game nights 2 days ago, I found a game called Greed of Man. Looking back on it all now, with hindsight being 2020, I recognize that the name Greed of Man was actually a subtle little joke from the developer laughing in the face of everyone who bought the game, spitting on them, literally giving them a wedgie. It's shocking how deep this rabbit hole went, and I certainly didn't expect it. So, Greed of Man looked like just a potentially fun, shitty game. It was a very low-effort, asset flip open-world game with VoIP, and it had overwhelmingly negative reviews, so it immediately caught my eye. It looked like it could be fun shitty, which I always enjoy. And it also happened to cost $30. The hubris to charge $30 for something that took less than 30 minutes to develop. I thought there was potential to have a very fun shitty game here, so I forked over the clams. And luckily, I caught it at the right time. It was on sale, so it was only $20. What a massive saving. $20 for the worst experience I've ever had on Bad Games Night. The game's not a scam just because it's bad. I'm going to get into it in a moment. It's a legitimate, genuine scam by all definitions. So, anyway, Mr. Krabs charges $30 for this game. I play it. I recognize the game is really bad, and I just wanted to see what the community was saying about it, because it wasn't just bad, it was empty. There was nothing to do. Nothing worked. It was non-functional. So I went to the Steam forums just to see what the hubbub was about. And it turns out this game was actually developed by a TikTok star. His name is Nick the User. And he is apparently notorious for making fake games and hosing his audience down for money, buying into the idea that he's a great game developer releasing hit products, fucking bangers. But he's apparently released a handful of games, none of which he ever actually completed, but made quite a bit of money off the back of his audience, and Greed of Man was his latest endeavor into this fucking swamp that he's created. So, Greed of Man was a game that never was supposed to even be completed in the first place, and he spent a couple months hyping up Greed of Man on TikTok, saying that he's releasing the next GTA 6 online, and it's going to be free to play. Greed of Man is going to be free to play. The game is free. And it turns out the game wasn't free. He dropped it for $30 fucking. And actually, as of 5 hours ago, as of recording this, Nick said, "Listen, I heard all of your feedback. I'm lowering the price from $30 to $10. What a fucking angel. But anyway, so he lied about it being free, and he charged a lot for it. But the reason it's a scam isn't just because of the blatant false advertising or the stealing of other developers' assets against their will and getting blasted for it, getting called out publicly for the stolen assets, but he actually does something else here that is actually a fucking phishing scam, pretty much. I don't want to spoil the surprise, so let me just show you the stream clips from when I got scammed live. I'm gonna check this one out. I want to see what kind of town they've got cooked up over there right now. So it's just Gmod RP. Doesn't really seem Gmod-esque. Alright, let's see how greedy these men are. They got Daft Punk on the banner there, that's kind of hype. This is so tedious. Alright, let's get it. Let me make sure this shit isn't like open mic or something. Is this a player? No, this is the item manager, the manager. How do I get this off my screen? I can see myself moving around here in the fog. Alright, so there's apparently 8 players in this bitch. I wanna go find them. Oh, there's one. Oh, he's gonna tase me. How do I put my hands up? Wonder what he's gonna do. Does he work here? How does he have a job here? It wouldn't let me. You have to be in uniform. Well, he didn't give me a fucking uniform. Where am I supposed to get it? Enjoy your dough, Erica. God, this place is popping off. This guy's come over here and then blue screened in his brain, I guess. Where are the other players at? God, I hope it's not open mic. I'd be so embarrassed. Oh, I heard a shot. Did that come from outside, or did one of the remaining 7 players just kill himself in one of the hotel rooms here? I can't believe I spent $20 on this. I'm ending it. I've had enough. No, it's just not free. It's $20 and it was on sale. Oh my god, how big is this building? Jesus. Imagine getting this room here. They were really ambitious. They thought they'd have a huge player base. Man, imagine being the stupid asshole that buys this penthouse suite. There's no elevator or anything quick to get down, so here comes a 20-minute run downstairs. What are the reviews like on this game? Hold on. Is there something I'm missing? I know it has overwhelmingly negative reviews, but there's gotta be something to it, right? There's gotta be something. So everything is not recommended. I cannot recommend this game for two simple reasons. Why the fuck are we used to create an account by using login Steam on your website? It's true, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, dude's got my fucking Steam info now, I guess. This is just a disaster, you can't really do anything, this is just a scam game. I didn't play much, but can already see the game's bad. Don't support Nick, he's a scammer and not even a real game developer. He abandoned his only 2 other games and already gave up on this game before stating he's in way over his head. He heavily advertised this game as free just a few months ago and is now making $3K a month on Patreon for making literal garbage. Wait, how deep does this rabbit hole go?
I'd like to introduce you all to...
What the fuck? Did I just fall for a big scam? Well, I mean, the game sucks ass. Like, there's nothing to do here. It is a scam, but, like, is it, like, a well-known scam? This TikTok star is scamming his audience with fake games. I fell for a scam. I'm not his audience, and I still got scammed.
To Nick, a self-proclaimed game developer
Son of a
who has amassed
bitch.
a following of almost 750,000 followers on TikTok, promoting his now-released early access title called Greed of Man.
Oh, that's what I'm playing right
The
now.
developer, I don't say that lightly.
I can't believe it. Man, bad game night got me
TikTok
scammed.
Space on September 14th,
Yeah,
2021.
I have
He was
to
adding a
change
card
my
to
shit
his
here.
game called Tomorrow's Past.
Existed GTA Online. And this became a huge issue as of a couple weeks ago when I realized that my workflow was not going to finish this game in time. This game would take...
In time for what, man? Like, what? You don't work for a publisher. You're your own boss. In time for what? What are you talking about, brother? God, I got scammed by a 16-year-old surfer frat douchebag. That was $20 right down the shitter, too. Yeah, I'm just gonna refund it. But he still gets the $20, unfortunately. Man! And it looks so good, too. To think, if only a developer who cared had their hands on this, they could make Catnap Homes a real success. I'll take one more last look around this beautiful world before saying my goodbyes to it. Damn you, Nick! Damn you! Oh my god, there's another victim of the scam. That's probably Nick himself. Charles, turn off that video, it's a lie. The game's great, I'm still working on it. Give me time. Hey. Hey, Buster, can you hear me? It's supposed to be like an RP style game, but there's no settings for like voice, so I'm guessing that's not actually here. And there's also only one audio setting, which is voice, but with no way of getting voice. Hey, you stupid asshole, stop. If you can hear me, stop running. I'll give you 100 Robux if you stop running. Yeah, if he could hear me, he would have stopped for sure on the Robux. Let's see what he does. There's 2 of you? No, these have to be bots. No way. No way. No shot. Bots. Okay. I'm gonna refund this so that way Nick doesn't get all of my $20 here. I want to see how much how often he scams. Hold on, what's his TikTok doing right now? Because this is brand spanking new scam here. This is fresh off the press. I was one of the early adopter victims here. That doesn't feel good. Yeah, I'm gonna go change my shit in just a second. Hold on. Okay, refund notice is in. Let me change my Steam information. I think, let me run through how I think this goes. I think what's happened here is Nick has made games like this, which are basically like GTA Online or Roblox open world, come in, come on. And what happens is when you try and play the game, you have to sign up on his website, which I did, and you have to link your Steam, which I did, like an absolute buffoon. So I think what he does then is he maybe sells your information somewhere. I don't think he uses it. Like, I don't think he actually logs into accounts to steal things. I think he's just more of a data harvester type. That's my guess.
So, Big Fry just reviewed
Here he's addressing the scam video that I had up just a minute ago.
my game, calling me a scammer. Now, I'm a 17-year-old in high school, so...
I got scammed by a fucking 17-year-old! God! Jesus! I was kidding about calling him 16. He's actually a 17-year-old.
I don't exactly have all the time in the world to be developing. So the fact that this adult that does YouTube video reviews on scam games is going to take my small project and call it a scam simply because the audience grew so fast and I gained so much traction and I didn't deliver like the next GTA 6.
What?
And again, the game's in early access state. I'm not done with it. I just wanted to get a couple people in to try testing things and...
Testing what things? Nothing worked. It was an empty world that I couldn't interact with anything. This is literally... He's just lying. It's $20 for an open asset world. All just asset flips. And you can't even interact with anything because it doesn't work.
Bug fixing and adding new ideas that they come up with. And that's why the server sizes were only like 16 people. I wasn't expecting thousands of people to just jump into the game right away, so my...
Thousands of people didn't jump into the game. You had a peak player count of like 50. Brother.
Servers could not keep up. And you can't be comparing my game to like extremely successful and long-lived developments and projects by big companies.
No one is.
And again,
You didn't make a
I'm
game.
high schooler. I'm still living life. This isn't the only thing I do. Like, you can't be calling my game a scam just because I didn't deliver some extremely amazing product to you.
You didn't deliver a product.
It honestly is a passion project of mine that I was just doing for fun. And it just so happened to gain a ton of traction. And it's kind of messed up to call it a scam, too, because scams are something where you get your money taken and you don't get anything out of it.
That's exactly. You just defined your game. I am now one of the victims here. That is your game. It is the textbook definition of a scam that you just recited.
It's a Steam game. You can buy the game, and if you don't like it, you refund it. It's not a scam. You keep your money. But I know
did
he
refund
gets his
it.
power trip by calling things shit and calling things scams, so I'll let him do his thing. So...
I found his burner. He even hearted it. I feel for you. The amount of hate is insane for a game that is genuinely good. You shouldn't focus on the hate. It only brings you down. From an account called Anonym. That's absolutely his burner. The game is not genuinely good. It's not a game. It wasn't a game.
But I find it pretty crazy. We went from free to play to this. Is Nick playing?
I don't think so.
So there is VoIP. It's just those two goobers weren't talking to me.
It's like 3 o'clock.
I've been doing bad game nights for fucking 4 years, and I've never had something like that happen. The closest thing I got to scammed in the past was I downloaded a game on Steam that didn't have the, like, actual executable file in it. Which is like, okay. that is a scam, but at the very least it didn't steal my fucking Steam login information. Yeah, I'm talking about scams again. I don't know what to tell you. Every single minute there's another scam born, and every 5 minutes there's another victim of a scam being taken advantage of. It is unreal, the current landscape of the internet with how rampant scams are. It's crazy. There are more active scammers on this planet than there are ants. It's just vile. Nowhere and no one is safe. I'm gonna make up a statistic real quick, and I want it to be an alarming one just to illustrate the intensity of the situation. 1 out of every 2 people in this world is either a scammer or a victim. So, sleep in fear. Now today I'm going to be going over a scammer that I'm pretty confident most of you haven't heard of. I only recently learned about them thanks to a YouTuber named Matty Balls who made a great video exposing the whole situation and going over it thoroughly. So the link to the full video, of course, is going to be in the description of this one. I'm just going to show some of the clips and go over like the general broad strokes of what the scam is. It's a pretty interesting one, albeit nothing unique about it. But what I find interesting is their commitment to the facade. So the scammer is named Carter Jameson, and he's built his career, well, career is a term I'm using super loosely because it's an illusion of a career. Carter Jameson is an Instagram influencer, which again is a term that has no meaning at all. That is the biggest nothing fucking sandwich of a term. But he has 1 million followers on Instagram, almost all of which are botted, by the way. And he sells courses, which are like media packages in order to get you clout. The man is a literal clout vendor. He's an exposure goblin, and you pay him thousands of dollars for these packages to hopefully blow up your brand or increase your online presence. That's his whole hustle. He's a guru scammer. There's nothing unique there whatsoever. But what's impressive about Carter Jameson is his tenacity and persistence to prey on gullible kids and desperate adults. He seems to have been a born slimy weasel of a person because he's been scamming for quite some time now, and he's only 19 years old. This is a young man. He's like fresh out of high school and already a notorious scammer. In fact, he was one of the puppet masters behind Lana Rhoades' NFT scam from like 8 or 9 months ago, which I know a lot of you are probably familiar with because that was a huge scam. He was one of the people behind it that made off with $1.5 million in that rug pull. This was his first major scam, and I guess he must have really enjoyed the taste of shit in his mouth because he just continues to scam from here. It's only escalated. So not only does he do the press package shit where he like sells these $1,000 packages of like articles or whatever, he also does these very shady giveaways where I'm not entirely convinced people actually get the items they're supposed to receive from the giveaways. But even still, giveaways in and of themselves and the way that Carter Jameson does them are always sketchy because he's hiring rappers and pretending to be friends with them in order to promote the giveaway. So that way people start following the account and, you know, signing up, whatever, all that, under the idea that they're going to get this item, and also under the idea that the rapper that is there is a big supporter, so it must be legitimate, even though that's not exactly telling the whole story. Carter Jameson also has 2 other NFT scams that he has run since the Lana Rhoades one, so he's just been on this upward trajectory of thousands upon thousands of scams that he just keeps fucking spearheading. And like I said, he's only 19. I have to imagine he started doing this as a child, like an actual toddler. Like he probably opened a lemonade stand when he was 8 years old, but didn't actually sell lemonade. He sold water with like a hint of lemon in it because he wanted to save money on the lemons. So he just sold people the idea of lemonade. Like, I guarantee this guy's been scamming for a long time. Like, probably took notes out of Ed, Ed and Eddie when they were scamming for Jawbreakers. He probably was scamming around his middle school for, you know, $15, $20 off like a homework racket or something. Like, this kid seems to just thrive off taking advantage of people and lying. His whole personality is fake. So I'm going to go ahead and play clips from the video so that we can get a deeper understanding of exactly how all of it works. But this one is a pretty sad one. Like, he's 19 years old and he's already a piece of shit. Carter Jameson. I'm unfamiliar with that name.
Carter Jameson is someone who's been seen with Chief Keef, Kodak Black, Lil Durk, Bobby Shmurda, Summer Rae, Lil Yachty, Steve Will Do It, Cole Bennett, and many other celebrities. But how...
I'm gonna just take a guess. Knowing nothing about this, he paid to take all of those pictures with those celebrities. He's a trust fund kid with a lot of access to money. So he puts on a front that he's actually a popular guy, like friends with all these rappers, and he uses it to try and promote. I'm just going to do crypto. I think crypto's easiest. Lock it in.
The digital marketing company Gateway Agency. But I think he's a liar. So to understand how this guy has made millions from lying, misleading, and scamming, we have to dig a little bit deeper. Recently started...
Oh, actually, damn, fuck. I'm starting to change my mind. Maybe it's not crypto. Maybe he sells like courses. Maybe he's one of those gurus, like get rich quick guru kind of shit. Because he's a 19-year-old entrepreneur, owner of Gateway Agency or some shit. Whatever other imaginary made-up garbage he comes up with. I'll stick it out on crypto. I won't backpedal.
Getting a ton. Is he really even a scammer? Well,
I'm gonna go ahead and take a stab at it. He does not have all of these followers legitimately, 100% botted to a certain level. A lot of people on Instagram do that. How does this kid know all these people? He doesn't. He pays to be near them. And who is he? Just a kid with a lucky spawn, born to a wealthy family.
So Carter Jamieson is another one of those social media gurus you see online, but instead of selling you a course, he's selling you popularity. You might notice he has decent engagement in relationships with one who promises to scale your digital footprint to the...
My second guess was the right one. Son of a bitch. Yeah, maybe crypto's too outdated now. Everyone just immediately conflates anything meta, Web3, whatever with a scam. Rightfully so, by the way. Like, yeah, if he's a modern scammer, he would have had to adapt into the guru space, which is now the moneymaker.
Actually proves his guiltiness. Botted engagement. Before his engagement increased 100 times because of Juice WRLD fans hate bombing him, he could be seen botting his account, as you can see from all these fake comments. And if that isn't proof enough,
no, this is really fire.
Out botted engagement
Shit's flames.
On one of his Twitter accounts. And here on his YouTube channel, you can see over 1,000 botted comments on one of his YouTube shorts that only has 600 likes. So it's safe to assume that he's botting likes and possibly followers.
They're just very passionate. They forgot to like.
I first saw on his website that he had a ton of articles and content, and another even says this story is paid for by an advertiser. Remember?
I actually had no idea that that shit was there. Obviously, a lot of journalism is paid content. Like, I mean, is what it is. I didn't know that they actually disclosed it in those cases. I thought they still kind of kept that under wraps. But I guess they also got hit by some new guidelines or something, or maybe I've just been oblivious to those notices.
Someone with a lot of followers, we tend to think they're legitimate.
The deception exists because the large follower numbers trick our brains into giving out credibility naturally from the social proof. More followers means more credibility, right?
But I don't think Carter's...
Maybe I'm being baselessly optimistic, but I feel like that perception's starting to waver a bit. It used to be bigger number, trustworthy person. That used to be the rule, but I think with crypto and everything, it's kind of shaken everyone's faith in that concept. So I'm hoping that's changing, because it feels like it kind of is, slowly but surely. But maybe I'm just wrong in wanting to believe. I like how the YouTuber is basically milking this guy's downfall for views and content. Why does everyone have to have like some kind of weird contrarian perspective on everything? This guy even said at the beginning, like, he was a very generous guy about this whole thing. He's just telling the story, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's just telling the story about this guy's hustle, which is a scam. It's so weird. What goes on in your mind to want to immediately take some kind of weird combative stance on someone just literally exposing a scammer? I don't get it. I actually don't understand it. It's just too easy to agree, so someone has to disagree even if they don't believe. I suppose, but I'm not here to be an armchair psychologist. I really just don't get it.
He uses a method called loop giveaways where he partners with popular people to give away items. Carter and probably others will spam DM people with details about the giveaway campaign. They show the estimated growth and how much it'll cost to buy into it. And the reason that account will be following all the investors. So in return for their money, they will be receiving thousands of real followers. So when he gets that investor money, he buys the items for the giveaways, flies out to meet the influencer or the rapper, takes some pictures with them to make his Instagram look better, takes pictures for the giveaway, pays the influencer, and keeps a ridiculous amount of money for doing little to nothing. It really is an infinite money glitch. And the giveaways themselves aren't necessarily scams. They're not against Instagram.
It's like a social media STD.
And I think he actually does give away the items. He might not. I'm not sure. I have seen people say they haven't gotten their stuff. That might not be true. But we have, and his business offers a variety of other overpriced services. For example, you can buy different press packages that offer articles and other sorts of
For the low cost of $8,000, you can get the musician package, which is a 15 article package. Oh, whoa, and I missed the... Oh, that's the low end. What the fuck? The $20,000 value is so much better. It even has the word cheaper. It's the market domination press package, which is 20 mid-tier press package. How are you supposed to gain clout without spending 20 grand on this package? Holy shit, wait, all the answers are right here. This is the key to success. He's giving away the keys to the kingdom, holy fuck. And for the low cost of 20 grand?
Press, like this Google Knowledge Panel package, which costs $6,500 when you can do it for free yourself. Then in the description, he has the nerve to say, you must have 20 other notable articles.
Yeah.
He sells ad management, verification, websites, billboard advertisements, and more. And I'm going to take a random shot.
Why? Who is dumb enough to pay for a fucking billboard advertisement? Who in their right fucking mind is like, oh my god, the billboard package. I need it. I'm gonna blow up with a good billboard. I don't think a single human being of the last 10 years has looked at a billboard and actually signed up or even visited what it was advertising.
Especially because apparently they only accept payments through Cash App, which is very sketchy. And I guess he also used to sell paid shoutouts on his Instagram and then just delete them right away after you paid for it, which probably didn't really make a difference because most of his Instagram followers are either inactive or fake. And if none of this, the reason that I believe he is scamming when it comes to the giveaways and the influencer marketing is because he's been caught scamming before. Before Carter brought his scams to the rap community, he was exposed for being one of the masterminds behind Lana Rhoades' CryptoSys NFT rug pull, where her, Carter, and some others made off with $1.5 million in Ethereum.
It's crazy. Somehow, anytime there's a scam, it's like this interconnected web. Like, all of the scammers that currently exist have always existed, and they've been part of all the other scams we've followed. What a throwback. What another reoccurring character. Another season that they're making an appearance in, another cameo.
There were 6,069 awful looking NFTs that were being marketed as an investment, and investors were promised that this was a long...
Unlike other pump and dump projects, we don't just plan on stopping after minting, so we actually have to be able to fund all that stuff.
They were hyping it up so much to the point where multiple people even got tattoos of the NFT, and they were reposting it. Personally, I can't imagine knowingly scamming people, watching them get tattoos of the NFT, and reposting it. So they...
I'll tell you one thing, I can absolutely imagine that. If you're one of those absolute bumbling idiots that buys into CryptoSys and you feel so strongly about it, you get a tattoo on your fucking thigh of the CryptoSys logo, you deserve to be laughed at. The scammer at that point, I'm on the scammer side. Laughing at you is like the least they can do. You've earned that shit. That's a fat fucking L. My God. Everything else I disagree with the scammer on, but laughing at people that do that, I actually completely agree.
$1.6 million was drained out of this mint for the NFTs one day after they sold the collection.
The reason that they did this is because apparently Lana's feelings got hurt by the negativity in the community, but obviously this was just an excuse to take the money. Tons of people in the community talked about this rug pull, so it's a pretty well-known scam, and somehow Carter still has a career. And this wasn't the first time that Lana... Right now, Carter has other NFT projects like Billionaire Butterfly Club, which I'm assuming is
I was kind of right. He is doing crypto scams.
Rug pull type of deal. But in
this is the fraternity apes party. Guys, everybody in this is in the highest level frat of the real life.
Fraternity Apes Party,
what
or
the
FAP
fuck?
for short, is an NFT
cool.
project where the incentive isn't an investment, but it's that you could go to a cool party with tons of influencers and celebrities. And only holders
that's
of the
worth
NFT can get in. I doubt any of the people there owned one of these awful-looking NFTs. They somehow even got the Nelk Boys to show up, but they probably paid them too.
Yeah,
and then they actually
somehow they got Steve Will Do It there. The guy notorious for literally accepting anything that has a dollar bill attached to it. It's a mystery to me how the fuck Nelk ended up there. This kid, I'll crack the code. I think I was right initially. This kid came from money, and he used that money to buy himself an advantage, to put himself in the position so he could scam people easily by presenting himself as a popular influencer. So he did the crypto scams with Lana Rhoades. He's doing the guru scams right now with the gateway giveaways, and he's done, what, 2 other crypto-based scams with NFTs and shit? He's just one of those douchebags. Perpetually living in his father's shadow.
Fake lifestyle. The rappers and the other people partnering with him, or more likely their management, should probably look a little bit more into who they're partnering with.
Why would they do that?
At the money they're going to receive, because then they end up associating with a bunch of scammers, which doesn't really make them look good.
Yeah, but their audience doesn't care. This was a great video. Good shit, Matty Balls. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this guy. This is an interesting story. Hold on, I want to look something up right now. This video is not very old, right? It's like 2 months old. Has he addressed this? His whole Instagram is fucking rough. But yeah, it's just shit like this. It's just him holding money. I don't even think people buy his course, I'll just say it. I think people are not dumb enough to fall for someone like this. You'd be surprised. I guess, but his prices are outrageous. $8,000 all the way up to $20,000. Like, nobody can afford those packages. Like, the only people in his audience that might not be aware it's a scam are actual teenagers that are just blinded by, like, TikTok clout and an overwhelming, insatiable desire for attention. They can't afford $8,000 packages, and certainly not the $20,000 package. So, like, who the fuck is his audience? Or, rather, his clients. No one can afford that shit. You underestimate the stupidity of the average adult. I really don't. I feel like of most people in the world, I am usually pretty on the mark with how dumb people can be. This is just out of the price range of stupid people. And certainly out of the price range of stupid kids. You were surprised by the age of CryptoZoo victims. I was very surprised by that. You are correct. That one did catch me off guard. I wouldn't have expected adults to be in the Logan Paul audience, let alone falling for a Logan Paul NFT project. But that was a low barrier of entry for them. This is an extremely high barrier. Especially for very little return. Meet the 18-year-old who's the CEO of a successful social media agency. And then right underneath that, this is paid for by the advertiser. Ah, so it's trustworthy then, huh? Surely this will be an unbiased look at his story. Let's see. More than the stunning content, he wanted to explore the algorithm that leads the influencers to a staggering number of followers. After 6 years of grinding with Instagram, Jameson was finally successful in decoding the algorithm to earn over 1 million followers. He decoded it, he was in the mainframe, and then he found the secret, which is his daddy's credit card to buy bots. Little botted followers. Fucking genius. Holy shit, this guy's good. He's a savant. He's like the Mozart of Instagram. Because he never did anything? Well, no, I just wanted to know about, like, his parents. Like, usually in these kind of cases, they always try to be that person that pulls themselves up by their own bootstraps. Like, I came from nothing. My dad was a normal blue-collar worker, just a true red-blooded American patriot working 2 jobs to put food on the table for me and my 6 brothers. And my mom also had to work night shifts down at the local cemetery. Like, I don't know. Usually just like some kind of sob story. So like people like relate to it somehow and like put him on a pedestal of wow, he did it himself. But he didn't even bother with that step. Do all scammers usually come from a rich family? I wouldn't say all of them. That'd be a disservice to say all of them. But I would argue a good 85 to 90% of all scammers do come from a very privileged background. At least in the digital age. Title's not clickbait. The biggest YouTube scam has just been revealed by a channel called Megalag. I highly recommend checking out the full video. This is extraordinary work. It was a multi-year investigation that he conducted, and his findings could make even Enron's accountants start sweating. It is gross how bad this company he investigated is. And it's a company you've all heard of. It's a company I have used for a long time. Honey. You know that free browser extension that's supposed to be going and getting you coupons at checkout to save you money on purchases? The one that has that playful piece of shit mascot that's just a diet Microsoft Clippy whom now I can't stand to look at after learning about how atrocious this scam is? Yeah, that Honey. The one that's owned by PayPal that they purchased for fucking 4 billion clams. Turns out it's all a load of fish paste. Honey, more like phony, because it's all fraudulent. Now, of course, I can't say that from a legal perspective, but from a common sense perspective, after everything I've learned from the Megalag investigation, I think it's definitely fallen into the textbook definition of a scam. Though I imagine the lawyers aren't going to be too gung-ho about suing people that are labeling them a scam or calling them mean words, because they're probably too busy stretching out, cracking their knuckles, getting ready for the impending catastrophic class action lawsuit that's heading their way. And I mean that sincerely. I do think that this investigation from Megalag will lead to a huge class action lawsuit against Honey for all of the many millions of dollars that it has most likely cost a ton of people.
Honey hasn't just been scamming you, the consumer, they've also been stealing money from influencers, including the very ones they paid to promote their product. And I'm not just talking about a few bucks here. I believe the scam has likely cost content creators millions of dollars.
Honey's stretching everyone's holes here, both the consumer who downloads Honey as well as the creator that promoted the Honey. That does include me. I have worked with Honey in the past because I was an avid Honey user. It seemed like a pretty simple, effective product. It'd just find coupons at checkout to save a little money. I didn't think there was anything nefarious going on under the hood, but it turns out couldn't have been more wrong. Obviously, knowing what I know now about this company, I wish I never worked with them. I'm sorry for ever having promoted Honey. I clearly didn't know any of this was going on. Nobody did until Megalag's investigation. This was something that there wasn't even whispers of. He mentions in the video he had only found like one page where people even speculated on it with nothing concrete. So it wasn't until this multi-year investigation that any of this information came to light. It's a very sneaky, hidden mechanism that it uses to scam consumers and content creators. And what Megalag has put into the light here is extremely important. So he starts by demonstrating how it steals money from content creators, and it is probably the most creative way of fucking people I have seen since I first found browsers in high school.
Linus tells you about this free browser extension that saves you money online, you install it in 2 clicks, and boom, you have Honey. So you scroll down and find Linus's affiliate link to that product. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you click an affiliate link and buy something, the influencer who promoted the product earns a commission for referring you to that store. So you add the product to your cart, get to the checkout page, and hello, Honey says they found you 10 coupon codes. Sweet. You click apply discounts and Honey gets to work. But unfortunately, none of the coupon codes worked. Doesn't matter though, because as Honey has promised us for years, that means we know we've got the best deal. So you complete your purchase, you're happy, your new CPU's on the way, Linus is happy, he's getting his commission, everyone's happy, right?
Wrong. You'd be very wrong if you said everyone was happy there. This isn't a fucking fairy tale. This is big business, and everything's horrible. So, if you've never used Honey, that's how it works. When you're checking out, you'll have your little goofball pop up. He'll be like, oh geez, Rick, we gotta apply some coupons here to save you some blimflarkles. Click here to save some money, because we're gonna look for coupons. And so he's gonna go look for coupons at checkout to try and save you some money. Sometimes it'll find coupons, sometimes the mascot will wander in, soft cock in hand with nothing to offer you, saying, whoops-a-daisy, sorry, didn't find anything, is what it is. And that's the way she goes. Now, Megalag is talking about affiliate links. As he mentioned, if you use an affiliate link like in a description, and you purchase a product through that link, the creator that you click the link from will get some kind of commission off of that sale. Now, Honey does something very interesting with that whole process there.
After clicking Linus's affiliate link, you'll notice in the URL, there's a tracking tag labeled Short Circuit. That's a reference to one of Linus's YouTube channels. And this tracking tag is how Newegg knows who to pay a commission to. We can also see that this tracking tag has been saved on my browser in the form of a cookie that will expire in 30 days. That way, if we only decide to complete the purchase a few days later, Linus will still be credited the sale. So what happened when we got to the checkout page? Well, once Honey popped up, watch what happened to Linus's affiliate cookie after we clicked apply discounts. You see that? Honey came in, removed Linus's affiliate cookie, and replaced it with their own, claiming credit for the sale and pocketing the commission money for themselves. Yeah.
Never before has that sound effect, that like dramatic bass boom sound effect, been more appropriate. That is a huge deal. That is millions of dollars, no exaggeration, actually millions of dollars that PayPal Honey is making through stealing those commissions. By replacing the affiliate link with their own at the very end of checkout, without the consumer ever even knowing this happens, they're able to take the entire commission while the influencer or whoever that brought them there gets nothing. They get the whole pie, and the creator doesn't even get the fucking crust. It's so devious.
Now, if we quickly go back again, we can see what's causing this to happen. After clicking apply discounts, what you'll notice is that in the top left corner of your browser, Honey discreetly opens a small new tab, which acts like a simulated referral click, as if they were the ones to refer you to the website, even though you're already on the website and at the checkout page. Once that page is finished loading and has stuffed PayPal's affiliate cookie, the tab automatically closes, leaving you blissfully unaware that anything ever happened. It's very sneaky.
This isn't some kind of freak accident, it's not some kind of glitch or a ghost in the machine. Mr. Krabs isn't in the soul of Honey doing this without Honey themselves knowing about it. This is by design. They do this on purpose.
I'll reach out to Honey and ask them directly, and sure enough, they came back to me with the following. If Honey is activated and is the last program used while shopping on a site, it is likely Honey will receive credit for the purchase.
They are shockingly open about that. They almost seem jolly and proud. Well, hello there, salutations, tipping the fedora. Thanks for contacting us. Yeah, we're shitting on you. Big whoop, and you're welcome for it. Thanks so much. And he goes on to give like a real world example, so that way it's a little easier to understand how unacceptable this is. He even goes on to say that he can't see how it's anything less than fraud, and I agree. This seems like fraud. Megalag gives a real world example to demonstrate just how outrageous this whole thing is. He states, imagine that you're going to a department store buying a TV, there's a salesman and he sells you on the perfect TV. You now have that salesman's card that you take to the front with your TV, so that way the salesman can get the commission. But right when you're paying for the TV, a sleazy greaseball comes out of nowhere saying, wait just a minute, champ, hold on, let me see if I have any coupons. I got nothing. Alright, good luck. But before he leaves, he switches out that salesman's card with his own card. So now the salesman that actually sold you the TV gets nothing, whereas that guy who came in at the very end gets everything. That is how this concept works in the real world. That would be completely unacceptable. PayPal Honey did none of the work to get the consumer there, to get the purchase or anything, yet it takes the entire piece of the pie and leaves not even the crust behind. And in the real world, this, again, would be the equivalent of someone coming in at the last second like a jump scare, like, woo, here's a coupon. I'm kidding, we don't have any coupons, but I'm still going to take the whole commission. So then using some sleight of hand that would fool even Penn and Teller, he swaps out that salesman's card with his own, and the consumer doesn't know it, and the salesman that got swapped doesn't know it either. That's what PayPal Honey does. But here's the thing, even if it did find a coupon for the consumer at checkout, it still shouldn't be overriding the affiliates. It still shouldn't be stuffing that out. They did none of the work to get the consumer to the site or anything at all. They did nothing for the sale. They just came in at the very end and found a coupon. That's still bad that it would overwrite that. But it actually even gets worse. It'll do this even when it has no coupons to even search for.
Honey pops up right at the end of your purchasing journey, virtually guaranteeing they'll win that last click. They of course know this and do anything they can to get that last click, even when there's no coupon codes to offer. Which brings us to scenario 2. Honey Gold, which is now called PayPal Rewards. Here's how it works. When you get to the checkout and Honey Gold is available, Honey pops up and is essentially saying, hey you, consumer, click this button here so PayPal can claim the commission for the sale, and we'll share a portion of that commission money with you in the form of points. It's basically a lame cashback scheme. And it's genius because if there are no coupons to offer, but the store is participating in Honey Gold, it gives Honey another reason to get that last click.
He explained what last click was, and it's basically the last thing that you click is what's going to get the credit for the commission. And Honey is constantly fighting to be that last click by any means necessary. Come hell or high water, they will leave mangled corpses in the fucking streets if it means they can consistently get that last click on checkout. So this is one of its other mechanisms to get that last click, where you can activate rewards at the very end.
I decided to put Honey Gold to the test. So I looked for any website where Honey Gold was offered and found it on NordVPN. And no, this is not a sneaky sponsorship. So I signed up for NordVPN's affiliate program, which offers 40% commission on successful referrals. After getting approved into the program, I received a custom affiliate link for my YouTube channel. Using this link, I made 2 separate purchases. For the first, I activated Honey Gold, and sure enough, you can see my affiliate cookie was replaced with Honey's. And for the second, I didn't activate Honey Gold. As expected, I was awarded a $35 commission for the sale where Honey Gold wasn't activated, and received nothing when Honey Gold was activated. So how much of my stolen $35 commission did PayPal share as cash back with my Honey account, aka the consumer? Brace yourselves. 89 points, which is equivalent to 89 cents.
I knew it was going to be bad, but somehow that is even worse than I expected it to be. It gets the entire kit and caboodle of the commission, all 35 doubloons. It gets the spaghetti and the meatballs, and it gives you not even a morsel, not even a tiddlywink of it. 89 cents of the $35? Holy shit. Again, this is for doing nothing, by the way. It is doing nothing. It is doing this just to desperately try and get that last click so it can take the whole commission. And again, this isn't put front facing. People didn't even know this was going on until this investigation. It is so sneaky with this shit. It exists solely to steal, poach those affiliates to take that commission on the back end. That's nuts. That's why I'm saying this will likely be a huge class action lawsuit. There is no telling how many millions of dollars they've been able to make quietly like this. Megalag demonstrated one. They got $35 from that. Like, that's a lot. Like, that is a big commission, really. Just think about that on a large scale. Megalag pulls up the numbers. Honey had been promoting on YouTube in particular to the tune of like 7.9 billion views worth of videos. They had like 5,000 or something like sponsored segments across so many different channels. 7.9 billion views. They have, what, 20 million users? Think about how much money they were pulling in from this scam. It's huge. Like, this is something that Bernie Madoff would roll over in his grave at with this fraud.
You click on their affiliate link and get to the checkout. But in this scenario, Honey knows it has nothing to offer. No coupon codes, no Honey Gold, yet it still pops up to announce absolutely nothing. Annoying as fuck. Naturally, you click the got it button to get rid of the annoying dancing coin, and whoa, what's that? PayPal takes the sale.
I couldn't help but just laugh at that one. That is cartoonishly evil. That is so scummy. So even if it has no coupons, it has no Honey Gold capabilities, it will still pop up on something totally unrelated through the affiliate link and just say like, hey, listen. We've got nothing to say. Sorry, pranked you. We got nothing. Go ahead and close us. Just go ahead and say got it. Get rid of us. Sorry. Just wanted to let you know we're here. And when you do that, it takes the sale. It still takes the whole commission because you interacted with it. It was your last click. It's unbelievable.
Why? Because fuck you, Mary. That's your commission. But wait, there's more. My personal favorite is when Honey has nothing to offer, so pops up offering you to check out with PayPal, even though the option is already available at the checkout page. And of course, if you click the checkout button, PayPal poaches the sale. Classy.
There is just no world where that isn't illegal, right? Like, there can't be a world where that can fly. That has to be something that this company would be run into the ground for. Like, I'm no lawyer. I didn't pass the bar. Shit, barely passed the SATs. But I would still say, using my tiny little noodle up here, my smooth brain, that's a big no-no. I think they're probably going to face some big repercussions for that now that this is starting to blow up and come to light. Now, in the next section of the video, Megalag goes on to talk about how he was checking into the Linus forums to see if anyone was talking about Honey, and he did find someone that was sounding the alarm quite a few years ago, but it just didn't get a lot of traction. And then in 2022, someone noticed that Linus wasn't working with Honey anymore, so they asked about it, and Linus Media Group representative came out and said, yeah, they didn't like the way that it interacted with the affiliate links, so they stopped working with them. And Megalag says that he was pretty disappointed that they weren't more vocal about that, because if they could have sounded the alarm about this whole scheme, there could have been some more damages that were prevented over the next couple of years, but they just kept it kind of hush for some reason. And that is very disappointing from Linus and the team for not talking about this if they knew what was going on. And then Megalag goes on to talk about, well, they did actually take a different coupon sponsor that does the same thing called Karma.
Essentially, if someone clicked on an affiliate link and then they use Honey and search for a deal, Honey will override that tracking link even if they don't find you a deal. That didn't jive with us, so we ended the partnership. They should have made more noise about this. But what's truly baffling to me is that after LMG ended their partnership with Honey, they then went ahead and partnered with a company called Karma Now, a coupon browser extension that literally engages in similar behavior.
As Megalag said, it's very telling just how deceptive this Honey scam is when even a tech-focused company like LMG doesn't catch on to it for years. And it is baffling that even when they did catch on to it or were tipped off about it, they chose a different coupon sponsor that does like basically the same thing, it seems. That's so weird. That is so weird. Now, the next part of the video showcases how Honey scams you, the consumer. Now it's not only about the influencers getting all their affiliates commissions stolen. Now, Megalag shows you what Honey does to fuck you in the face.
When I reached the checkout page, Honey would claim it couldn't find me any coupon codes. Yet when I searched manually, I found working codes with these. And even when Honey did find me a code, I was often able to find another code of better value. Kind of strange, given their claim that,
well, thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is now a thing of the past.
Another oddity was that Honey would often only find me Honey branded coupon codes, such as Honey 5 or Honey 10. Why would a store only have Honey branded coupon codes? Kind of weird, right? But the biggest red flag was that when I tried submitting the better coupon codes I'd found, Honey wasn't adding them to their database.
Now, this was not a case of Honey just not doing its job well, where it was missing a couple of coupons here and there that were slipping through the cracks, but it was still trying its best and it was still doing an admirable, noble attempt at finding you those best deal coupons. It wasn't doing its job at all. When Megalag would submit coupons to it, it wouldn't even take it into the database, and it was far more effective to just manually enter coupons because Honey wasn't finding them, and it was finding a lot of Honey coupons pretty often. All very peculiar, I would say.
It turns out that one of the key benefits for stores partnering with Honey is that they are given full control over which coupon codes go live on the platform, if any at all.
What would you say to any brand that is considered working with Honey but hasn't yet?
I would say missing out on converting customers. Like I said before, Gen Z is super discount savvy. You can't ignore the fact that they will hunt for like discount codes and they might find a better deal. With Honey, you can also control the discount code percentage, which means like they will potentially find a higher discount code on the internet. It literally lets you control like the customer journey, convert and control like the discount code percentage as well.
This is a podcast that Megalag found that seems to be focused on trying to drive more brands to work with Honey. So this is a brand that has worked with Honey talking about the benefits. One of them that she's very excited about is that with Honey, it helps discourage consumers from seeking out coupon codes, and with Honey, you can control which coupon codes are even getting shared in the first place. So let's say there's a 20% off coupon that does exist for this brand, but the brand doesn't really want it shared with everyone using Honey. Well, then it just doesn't. Honey won't share it if the brand doesn't want it to. It's one of the benefits of working with Honey. You won't have that 20% go out to the consumers. Maybe instead you'll give them a 5% through Honey, or none. Maybe you won't even let them share any of the coupons through Honey. So even if the coupons do exist, the brand may not want Honey to share it with consumers, so it won't. Which of course is counterintuitive to even owning Honey in the first place. The whole point is that it's supposed to find the best deals, the best coupons to use. But if the brands can say we don't want the best deals to be shared with them, then Honey will say, okay, that's fine. All right, that's okay. You got it, Chief. And it won't.
You have control over the content hosted on the Honey platform. So yes, even if Honey knows of a coupon code that offers say 20% off, but a partnering store tells them, hey, only share a 5% off coupon, then that's the only discount Honey will apply to your cart at the checkout page. I mean, holy shit. Honey wasn't finding you the best deals possible. They were intentionally withholding them from you for their own financial gain. If you partner with us and pay us an affiliate commission, we'll let you control which discount codes are shared on our platform. And we'll tell our consumers we scoured the internet and found them the best deal possible.
This is a scam Ed and Nettie wouldn't even pull for Jawbreakers. Every component of Honey is a fucking lie. Every single piece of Honey is exploitative. Every single one. So in this video, he talked about how it's scamming consumers as well as the influencers that have promoted it. And he teases that in part 2, there's an entirely new victim that is also getting fucked by Honey. Megalag leads into the upcoming part by stating that in his experimenting and his investigation, he noticed there were times where Honey worked extremely well to an almost unbelievable degree with discounts and deals that just made no sense with everything else he was finding, and sometimes it wasn't overriding the affiliates. So it wasn't making sense how that discrepancy was happening with everything else he had learned. And then it clicked and he figured out what was going on. So that's what part 2 is going to focus on, and he has some interviews that he has at like a sizzler reel at the end. It's actually incomprehensible just how deep this rabbit hole goes. It really just seems like everything about PayPal Honey is fraudulent, just a full-blown scam. Like that's what it seems. I don't know how any of it could possibly be explained away or justified. I mean, shit, even when they were directly asked about it, they were like, yeah, hey, that is what it is. If Honey's the last thing you click, yeah, we're taking the affiliate. Like, what? Honey is usually going to be the last thing that someone clicks if you have Honey, because you might as well check if there's discounts. That's like the whole selling point of Honey. But not only is it not actually finding you the best coupons, if it's even finding you coupons, it is then stealing the commission from the affiliate that got you there in the first place. So it's fucking everybody for doing nothing. And even when it is actually doing full-blown nothing, where it's on a site that doesn't have Honey Gold, it has no coupons, it will still pop up just to say nothing. It just goes, and then you click got it to get rid of it, and then it'll still steal the commission. It is just crazy how scummy this is. I cannot imagine that what Honey is doing and how it operates is legal. It can't be. It shouldn't be if it somehow is through loopholes. That is completely unacceptable. And Megalag's investigation is extraordinary. A huge thanks to Megalag for bringing all of this information to light. It's an incredible video. Again, I highly recommend you check out the full thing. There's going to be a link to it in the description of this one. I didn't even cover all of it. He has done an immaculate job with this investigation. This is up there with CoffeeZilla's best work. This is incredible. So huge thanks to Megalag for doing this. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya. Who is the biggest joke in all of sports? Some people might argue the Washington Generals, which is the team that the Harlem Globetrotters always play against. They travel together and the Harlem Globetrotters always win against them, because the Generals are just there to have fun with the Globetrotters in order to make a spectacle out of the whole thing. They're kind of designed to lose. But they're not the biggest joke in sports. That honor belongs to one man in particular. His name is Dillon Danis. This goofball is someone you might have heard of because he's that coward that started a lot of shit with KSI, and then the second that it reached the fuck around and find out moment, like a week before they were actually supposed to fight, Dillon Danis backs out and weasels his way out of it, coming up with all kinds of pathetic little excuses, and then still tries to act tough. He's a washed up fighter who all he does now is just shit talk and then promotes scams on Twitter. People have more respect for the flies that hover around public porta potties at a fucking music festival than they do this man and his career. And yet somehow he finds a way to sink even lower. He was recently the primary clown in CoffeeZilla's newest video, where he got used like a fleshlight by CoffeeZilla in order to prove a point that Dillon Danis will promote absolutely anything at all as long as you pay him. And it turns out you don't even really have to pay him that much, all things considered. Just giving him a pack of cigarettes will get you like a 24-hour tweet promoting whatever vile scam you want. Like, it's actually pretty wild. So CoffeeZilla's video exposes at least 20 scams that he's done in his past, as well as convincing him to do yet another one. You know, hop back in the saddle, get ready for the rodeo, and engage in another scam tweet that CoffeeZilla cooked up with a completely fake crypto project. And he wanted to see how much does Dillon charge, and does he do any amount of research at all into the things that he proudly posts on his Twitter. I know Dillon Danis can't even spell research, so the answer isn't shocking. It's a no. He didn't bother looking into what CoffeeZilla was paying him to promote at all, because if he did, if he spent even 3 seconds, or even just like an iota of a thought given to the project, he would have immediately realized that it's not real and it is a scam that he's about to post proudly on his Twitter. Because CoffeeZilla laid it all out in front of him. And it's not even like it was hidden in plain sight or anything. He literally spelled it out, word for word. In a contract he sent to Dillon Danis, it even says that it's not real and you're going to be the butt of a joke. It was literally, it was just there in the contract, and it wasn't even a long contract like buried in fine print. It was like a core piece of the contract that just says, this is basically a fucking scam, and Dillon still signed it. It's baffling. So I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm just trying to give a general breakdown of the situation. Of course, the full CoffeeZilla video is going to be linked in the description. It's fucking beautiful per usual. I'm just going to show you some clips from it. But one other thing I want to point out is the reason CoffeeZilla went after Dillon Danis is because Dillon made a whole song and dance, a big hoopla about how bad he feels for everyone that got scammed by Logan Paul's Crypto Zoo. And that's what tipped everyone off to how many scams he himself has done, which led to this investigation in this video by CoffeeZilla, Oompaville, and ZachXBT. And it's a fucking amazing ride. It really is.
Dillon Danis is an MMA fighter famous for two things: cage fighting and not fighting KSI.
True.
But on December 23rd, he decided to be famous.
Also, apparently, I didn't know this until recently. He's not even famous for actually fighting. He's famous for just being a guy that, like, kind of rides Conor McGregor's dick. What's his actual fighting record? Because I said the same thing. I'm like, yeah, he actually fights. But his actual MMA record is 2-0. He has fought 2 times. Once in 2018 and once in 2019. Look at this shit. So he's not really a fighter. he's fought twice. Like, his whole claim to fame is, yeah, I'm a fucking stupid asshole. And that's it. And he won't even fight a YouTuber. 100% win rate, that is true. He is undefeated. But then again, so am I in MMA, to be fair. I am also undefeated. It's kind of meaningless when you don't have a whole lot of fights under your belt.
Calling out the scammers. He writes in a tweet, damn, Logan Paul is a scumbag. Feel bad for everyone he scammed. Now,
Thanks,
course,
Dylan.
No one's going to really disagree with this, so the likes rolled in. But what Dylan doesn't
What a
tell you
saint.
is he also has a history of scamming people on Twitter. And what Dylan didn't know is that there was a detective watching him. That detective was not me, actually. I wish it was me. It was my buddy Zach XBT on Twitter who said, damn, Dylan Dennis is a scumbag.
Hey, this is all coming full circle. You might remember Zach from the BitBoy Crypto thing. He was the guy that, like, tracked all of his moonshots and, like, called out a whole bunch of shit there.
So I reached back out to Zach and I said, hey, good tweet, but I want to find out how many scams exactly this guy has promoted. So Zach started digging through the garbage bin of deleted tweets, and we found out pretty quick there were a lot more.
What the fuck is it? Baby Dinger? What the fuck? Baby Dinger token is the next Shiba Inu. Oh man. If anyone has any baby dingers, you should immediately just lose the right to earn money in your life. You don't deserve it anymore. Ring dinger. Hey, let's not besmirch the good name of the ring dinger. That's as far from Web3 crypto as you get. That is literally an old man who snaps your head off.
I wanted to trick Dylan into giving me the amount. The rough idea was to approach
Smart.
Dylan and say, hey, I created this dumb NFT project that's completely fake. How much would it cost for you to promote it? He gives me an answer and I have my price. Who looked like he would be serious about selling you an NFT collection. And that's when I thought of my buddy Oompaville.
Yes.
This is a guy who's actually really sweet in real life.
I did know Oompaville played a big role in this here. So that is exciting. Very smart. CoffeeZilla recognized that Dylan would certainly say no, knowing for sure that it's a honeypot if it was CoffeeZilla that reached out. So he used Oompaville, whom, I mean, that looks like a well-adjusted man to me. Like, that's a trustworthy face right there. So he used him as the proxy. That's genius.
We can provide all the marketing copy. Please let me know, as we're trying to launch relatively soon. That website is not a real crypto NFT platform. Nothing in this video is a crypto or real NFT, so
yeah,
you cannot buy
obviously,
crypto. I want to be
sure.
super clear, because Dylan immediately responds with, want to do a tweet? And then I love this next part. What is it? I like the order of that, you know, like, let's promote it. And then underneath it, what am I promoting? And it's at this point I realized
that's secondary.
This is not only my chance to find out how much Dylan gets paid for all these scam promotions, it's also my chance to test Dylan Dennis. In fact, to do this, I basically copied almost word for word CryptoZoo's white paper, saying the following.
Baby.
Sour.gg may appear to solely function as an NFT collection, but it's much, much more. Sour allows users to earn sweet tokens that are openly traded via a yield that is based on the rarity of a given candy NFT.
I'm going to tell you right now, Coffee, I love the attention to detail here. I think that is super smart. I'm not convinced Dylan Dennis can read. I think he might be illiterate. So he just saw words on the page and he's like, man, this is legit. All these words, they have meaning, I have no doubt. I'm in. I am confident he had no fucking clue what anything in that white paper said. But I appreciate you went the extra mile and set it up that way for it.
Look out, adventurer. Now this is a sentence which means nothing unless you lay it out by the first letter of every word. And then it spells CoffeeZilla.
Oh.
So, don't say I didn't warn him. And obviously,
that's
even
way
if
too
I
smart for
hadn't
Dylan.
warned him, Dylan Dennis surely wouldn't promote a CryptoZoo project, right? Because he's, you know, he feels too bad for the victim. And then ETH? Question mark? And at this point, I'm just a little surprised by how easy this all is. Zero due diligence is
I'm not
being
surprised
done
at all.
here. We have created the weakest facade possible for an NFT scam, and he's just immediately on board. After we settled on that, he sent me payment information.
I am shocked he can even get 5K for a tweet. His Twitter isn't exactly what you'd call booming. The only time he gets engagement is when people are laughing at him. Like here, let me go to his Twitter real quick. Let's see, what's his most recent tweet? Because he deleted this one, I remember that. His most recent one is, if Alexander Volkanovski beats... okay, it's a fight. I'll give one person who likes this tweet $1,500 and must be following to win. So he's actually having to do fucking... He has to farm. He has to do giveaway farming. But before that, it's literally nothing. And he got 8K likes on the farm. So even by those standards, that's pretty low. So I'm shocked that he's actually asking 5K. Though I doubt many people are actually giving it to him.
Dylan gave us a brand new crypto wallet just for this transaction.
Whoa!
Which seems to imply that he probably makes new wallets for every new deal he does, which is
definitely not his own idea.
And at this point, I realized I had a choice to make.
Someone told him to do that.
Take what I learned, present it to you guys, and stop this little charade I had with Dylan and make my video. And Dylan would just keep doing this because his fans wouldn't know.
Wait, what was that last one? Was that Face Writers? What the fuck? Did I read that correctly? Right before Baby Dinger.
And Dylan would just keep doing this.
Oh, I'm writing with Faceless. Gotcha. I thought that said Face Writers. I was like, damn, another fucking wild one.
Because his fans wouldn't know. Which is actually pay Dylan to post a link to our fake NFT project. But the twist would be, as soon as he posts that link, it will become a website dedicated to every scam tweet Dylan Dennis has ever done. And remember that this website would be linked by Dylan Dennis himself to all of his fans until he kept the tweet for certain periods of time. And to my surprise, he agreed to the terms. And
that's smart. That's super smart. Yeah, so space it out so that way you can get the most juice for the squeeze here off the tweet staying live. I can also promise you, Dylan Dennis has no idea what any of these words he's using here mean. He's used too much punctuation. There's 2 periods in there. That's far more than his reading level permits. He's got percentage sign in there, some underlines, parentheses. Dylan Dennis tapped out once he saw payment structure. He's like, all right, payment. I know that one. Okay, whatever else.
Website, which is just a website with all his previous transgressions. Now, I did talk to some
I want to read that one. What was that? I'm bullish on what? These all have the worst names. I'm bullish on Rock Smart Chain. Rocket Raccoon. Hype.
From ZachXBT. He found over 20 projects that Dylan promoted and then tried deleting, where many of them were rug pulls and scams. It was at this point I drew up a contract for Dylan to sign before this whole thing goes live.
He didn't read it.
And in it, I lay the whole thing out. And this is what I meant by headwinds. This is where he probably will catch us, because in black and white, I lay out our whole scheme right in front of him. So it literally says, like, you're gonna be the butt of the joke. It says people aren't doing due diligence.
Oh,
it says that we're gonna be switching the website to show his prior promotions. So we lay out the whole thing there.
Oh,
and
no.
What we're really banking on is he's not gonna read any of this. He's just gonna see money and just sign it, which is the
100%.
whole point of this entire
He
thing.
can't
So
read
I
it.
think it fits.
Sending it. All right, and then I'm sending the drive link.
I mean, we've sent the contract now. We're just waiting. We're literally waiting.
Yeah. He's going to instantly respond with the sign. It's going to be less than 2 minutes.
Oh, I agree, bro. I agree.
It was 3 minutes. I was so fucking close. I was so close.
Idiot.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He agreed.
I was so
and
close.
You might notice that we weren't actually able to use DocuSign and get his signature because it was experiencing outages at the moment, the actual website. But we were able to just have him do a written agreement in DMs that he agreed to our terms. And although
that is real, by the way. If you get in writing something like that, that is actually an enforceable thing. It's not as strong as like a full signature, but that is like actually enforceable. So, what a fucking moron. Holy shit.
Go ahead and tweet.
Just refreshing now, I guess. See what he says.
Run
There's
it.
been so much work that goes into this. You guys didn't see this off camera. Dylan starts talking about, where's your community? So we have to whip up this community from nowhere.
Oh,
Our
fuck.
community doesn't exist. We had to create a Twitter profile. We had to buy a bunch of botted followers.
An hour ago, it didn't exist.
I don't think I've ever been so excited about something in my life.
Nice.
Dude.
What was the total spend on this, I imagine?
He tweeted it!
Huge.
I can't believe he did it.
He actually did it. He just tweeted it.
What an idiot. What? I can't believe it. What can I say?
So I knew this tidbit of information real quick before he points it out. The actual tweet just has the word scam in it. Sour NFT candies are moonbound. Scam.
Believe
It's so adorable.
What can I say?
They couldn't have made it
a
any more
tweet
clear.
which literally spells out in first letters the word scam.
Yep.
I hope this is...
Oh man, Dylan. Now he's ducking CoffeeZilla and Oompaville's attempt to communicate just like he ducked KSI's fight. God damn. It's all he knows. Yeah, he'll never mention this, unfortunately. That's his modus operandi. He just is a fucking perpetual loser, I guess. Oh, I did see that. There was a lot of brain rot takes about how what CoffeeZilla did is actual entrapment. And I'm pretty sure those people are just as CTE riddled as Dylan Dennis to think that what CoffeeZilla did is anything even remotely associated with entrapment. It's not even close. CoffeeZilla did everything possible to let Dylan know what was going on. He even put in the fucking contract he agreed to that it is literally him just being a joke. It's not real. He laid out everything, and he still agreed to it. That couldn't be further from entrapment. The guy got 1K. He did get 1K. He did get $1,000 out of it, so that's a Dylan W, baby. Fucking big one from Dylan! But also lost rep. He had none to begin with. I legitimately don't think Dylan Dennis has a single fan. Like, actually not a single one. People just laugh at him. In fact, if you go to his goddamn giveaway tweet right now, people aren't even participating in the actual giveaway. They're just spamming the clown emoji. Jesus Christ. He can't even, like, actively farm children on Twitter. He doesn't have fans. In the UK right now, there's a product that's more valuable than gold that people are going absolutely wild and wacky over. It's Prime, which is the drink from KSI and Logan Paul. It's being treated like a holy elixir that's understocked and absolutely making people ravenous to get their hands on it. The Prime panic is sweeping the UK, and there will be no survivors. It's like the blood of Christ has been bottled and people can't help but just go fight for it. And it's not because of the taste that's led to this situation, it's because it's become something of a status symbol. Having it makes you cool if you're very young. And if you're very old, having it means you can charge a huge markup for it and scam those kids that are desperate for the attention that it brings online. So there's been a lot of videos of people fighting each other for it. I'll show you a couple of clips.
Oh my god!
People getting in there, throwing hands, boxing each other out like it's basketball, getting ready for a rebound, all just to get their hands on some Prime. I've had it before because in the States it's not rare, it's not hard to come by. I could walk outside right now and find like an unopened pallet of Prime. It's really just in the UK that this hysteria is sweeping the entire nation. It's going absolutely crazy there. So I've tried it, I think it's good, I have no complaints, but I certainly wouldn't be beating some ass and being that desperate to get my hands on a bottle. But you know who is extremely desperate is a place called Wakey Wines that I just recently learned about. Their entire business right now revolves around reselling Prime at a huge price increase, all the way up to £100 for a single can or bottle of Prime. Usually a bottle will be about £2, but Wakey Wines is treating it like it's the fountain of youth juice here, selling it at 100 bottles, or £100 per bottle in some cases, and they're still successfully making sales. They've actually become extremely popular for this. A lot of people are buying it from them. That's how outrageous this whole thing is. Now I want to show you a great video that breaks it all down. This comes from a channel named Fat Memer, and I learned everything there is to learn about Wakey Wines here. You hear the Wakey Wines people made their own drink. What's special about Wakey Wines? They price gouge everything they sell. How are they successful then? Oh, here's a whole thing on it. Let me see.
Mohammed and Abdul, aka the Wolves of Wakefield, have been hitting national headlines over
the Wolves of Wakefield. I don't know anything about these guys. They seem like some real goofballs. I promise you, no one is calling them the Wolves of Wakefield besides them. They absolutely gave themselves that name. No shot anyone actually gives that much thought to them aside from like, wow, what a joke.
The last few weeks for reselling Prime at extortionate prices and their viral videos. Ironically, they haven't become known for selling wine, but Prime. Now, of course, because KSI and Logan Paul,
I'm assuming they sell more than that, though.
They know that kids are willing to do anything to get their hands on this drink. For months.
But why? But like, actually, why? I still don't see why people are fighting themselves over Prime in the UK. It is abundant in the States. I can go anywhere that sells drinks and they have, like, Prime filled to the fucking brim, literally leaking out of their toilets. It's everywhere. There's not that same chaos here. Why do kids in the UK want to fight each other for Prime? Even if it's from their favorite YouTubers, I don't really get it. Because you just drink it once and then you're done. Expensive and therefore cool. I guess that's kind of become like a pretty common thing. Like if something costs a lot, it's like a status symbol to have it. But it's not like you collect Prime. What, are they putting it in like an acrylic box and stacking it on their bookshelf? I doubt it. They probably get it, drink it for the sake of a TikTok, and then they're done. €100 down the shitter. They collect the bottles to flex on TikTok? Well, you can just order empty bottles though. The flex is they drink it. But it just seems like such a huge price for one TikTok of drinking Prime.
With fluctuating prices between £15 and £30 for the standard Prime drink, and prices now reaching an eye-watering £100 a can for the brand new Prime Energy cans. Wakey Wines have taken
I see. Okay, so the energy's an increased premium because it's newer. I'm assuming it's even more understocked. So now they're charging the moon for that shit. It's like an NFT at this point, goddamn.
Which has led people to discover his dark past. In 2015, Mohammed received an 8-year jail sentence and served 4 years behind bars. At the time, it was reported that he pleaded guilty and was convicted of selling cocaine and heroin. With this...
Yeah, it just reminded me of something totally unrelated to his charges. You guys ever see this video? It just resurfaced today. About the turtle that was smuggling $53 million worth of coke. Yeah, it was back in like 2017. There was a sea turtle that had $53 million worth of cocaine that was strapped to it. That was like fucking El Chapo's pet. They finally got him though. They finally got him. That bastard. He'd been importing this shit for years. 1,800 pounds worth. How long did the turtle serve for? I don't know. I didn't see anything about his trial. All I can tell you is Crash did not take it well after the flop of Finding Dory. Shit was rough. In all seriousness, I hope the turtle's alright. Yeah, I imagine they probably got the cocaine off of it and then just set it free again. Like, I don't think they actually threw it in cuffs or anything. I don't think it's currently sitting in, you know, county. Excuse me, Panda. Did I get the name of the turtle from Finding Nemo wrong? Isn't it Crash? It's Crash and Squirt, right? Why are you saying it's Crush? Oh my god, it is Crush. Oh, I'm such a fucking idiot.
For my money now, I've got a shop. My dad bought me a shop, and I work hard, and I don't sell drugs now. So I just thought I put it out there rather than everybody else saying Azza's doing this, Azza's doing that, and I'm a changed person. I'm reformed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I see no reason to doubt him. He served his time. I think he doesn't even need to deal drugs anymore. He's selling something far more addictive, and that's clout. So he's able to easily tap into an even bigger market now. Like cocaine, yeah, I'm sure kids are gonna get cocaine somehow, but it's a lot harder than just going down to his shop and getting fucking Prime for €100. So it's I believe he probably doesn't deal drugs anymore.
Amounts and high values. It shouldn't be worth £100 for a can of Prime, or 10, 15, 20 pounds for a bottle of Prime hydration. absolutely ridiculous, and I hate it. To the owner of Wakey Wines, I mean, what you're doing is just unfair, and it's
challenge him to a boxing match, beat his ass.
It's not ethical, it's not nice.
Although to
KSI drops the gauntlet. If you can beat me in boxing, you can actually double the price and I'll endorse it. But you lose, you shut down the shop. Make some high stakes out of it. Scalpers are dicks. Yep, no one likes scalpers, literally. I don't know how they're in business, to be honest. They must just be very lucky that some people are so starved for the clout of that TikTok flex of drinking the Prime that they'll pay the £100. But, yeah, no one likes them. Literally no one likes them. I think scalpers are probably like one of the only unanimously hated career paths in the world. Like, even a drug dealer, you can make some arguments for, like, a good drug dealer. He's peddling escapism. Well, he's doing it because he has to feed his family at home. With a scalper, no one's making those arguments. Scalpers just fucking suck across the board. I just checked, it's like 120 American dollars. Yeah, if you convert it to freedom units, it's over $100. It is outrageous. I mean, that's scalping in a nutshell, though.
fair play, Mo. In fact, if you're a kid and you're paying £100 for a bottle of Prime, then you deserve to get scammed. You've got to write the kid off. He's got no chance.
You know what? I'll make an argument in defense of Wakey Wines. He's teaching kids an important lesson about getting scammed early. And hopefully, it'll be something that stays with them for the rest of their life. Like, wow, what a fucking idiot I was paying £100 for this bottle of Prime. Never doing that again. It's a low-level scam. It's very expensive for a kid. Very expensive in general. So it should be one that would resonate pretty profoundly, I would think. It's not the kid's money, it's the idiot parents. That's possible, I guess. Well, it'll teach the parents an important lesson about not raising a dumb kid. I don't know.
Video emerged of Mo in a nightclub dancing the night away with women of the night. One Twitter user stated, "Sniffing lines, banging nines, and selling Prime." I mean,
cool slogan.
Can you blame him?
Put that on the store.
To society, and anyway, these kids wouldn't know how to spend their money properly. Wakey Wine seems to be going from strength to strength, and now even have their own song.
Oh! Wait! This is the Paradox Metaverse crypto place? Where the Amio Talio tried to get like Wakey Wines endorsement behind him and not even they were able to make anything out of it? That's crazy! Wow, they actually just do go scam to scam. So they're even in metaverse scams. Holy shit. Crypto scams. Wait, that's fucking wild. That's a full circle. They're just like this giant fleshlight that scams will filter through. Cool.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to follow me on all of my socials.
This is a great breakdown of it. I didn't know shit about them.
Subscribe and comment below what you want to see next.
Huge. Good work. That's interesting. What a nice little cameo from previous season supervillains with Paradox Metaverse crypto. How's that coin doing, by the way? Let's take a peek. Oh, jeepers. How did it all go so wrong? Oh, I can't believe it. That's the day chart? Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We should look at how it's doing over the last week. Oh, no. How's this possible? Whoa! What was this little pump here? Amio Talio buying on bot accounts. Good work. That was a nice little pump and dump for a day. Literally a day. And then back to rugging it. Did you see kids opening Prime at Christmas? They reacted the same way as a kid getting his first Xbox. That's so cute. It's time we have an important discussion. It's something that I feel I need to publicly address. Stop trying to scam me. 5 days ago, I posted this video saying that I will give $25,000 to anyone who could find some videos I deleted from 2007 to 2010. As I mentioned, I believe it to be an impossible task, but on my Twitch streams, people convinced me that it might be possible, so I figured I'd make it a fun lost media challenge. Since posting that video, I have been inundated by low-effort scammers trying their best to deceive me. Like some real dog shit things like, "Charlie, I'll double your Bitcoin and find your videos. Just send the 25K first." You know, just like really dog shit garbage attempts to take the money from the challenge without doing any of the work. I started playing RuneScape in 2005. I have been scammed more times than a rich old lady who always answers a telemarketer's phone call. I have been used like a fucking fleshlight by scammers since I was a kid. I was baptized in the flames of scams. I understand scams, how to recognize them, and I'm not that gullible. I don't usually fall for scams anymore. However, the scammers are getting more creative and clever. I was almost fooled by one the other night, and I'll go over that in just a little bit. But first, let me just go ahead and talk a little bit about this Lost Media Challenge. I've received so many emails and messages from people saying that I owe them money because they found my first Gears of War sniper montage, a video that is currently still on my channel. People are literally just going to my channel and sorting by oldest and then saying I owe them money for finding those videos. You think I would pay $25,000 for someone to click 2 buttons on my channel? You think I haven't done that? Again, the challenge was finding the 500 or so videos I deleted from 2007 to 2010. And I'd mentioned I'd pay money per video that was found. And because of this, people have just been sending me random links to old videos that are still on YouTube. All people are doing is typing in the name Critical or Mabo Insano on YouTube and sorting by upload date and going backwards, and they're sending me links to things like my Torquebow Ricochet montage, my Gears of War 2 Minitage, Bull Talk montage, videos that still exist on YouTube on other people's channels because I sent them there. I never deleted those videos, I sent them there because those were montage hubs back in the day, so obviously I know about them. Those were never lost videos. And what makes this pretty upsetting is in the initial video where I talked about this bounty, I even talked about that. I pulled up the Torquebow Ricochet montage saying, I know this is where people would immediately go to, you know, thinking that it's a lost video, but it isn't, and it makes it very clear that most people didn't watch the whole video or even watch half of it, because I even pulled up Gearsopedia content saying this is not lost videos, so please don't send it, and I have gotten hundreds upon hundreds of people sending me those videos and demanding that I pay them for that. It's fucking sickening. It is swamping up my ass real hard. Those aren't any deleted videos. You're not, you know, hacking into the mainframe and finding these by just searching Critical and going backwards on YouTube. It's like when I posted that video, I lobotomized all these investigators. Like, they just turned their brain off and scrambled to find anything to try and get money out of it. Obviously, I would have looked up Critical or Mabo Insano and sorted by upload date, or looked at old entries on other forums by Googling it. You can't find them like that, which is why I put such a high amount on being able to recover any of these videos. So please, stop just sending me links to YouTube videos that have been up for like 13, 14 years. I clearly know about them because they still show up when you search for them. Another thing people keep sending me is the archive.org dump, which has a lot of videos from my channel on it, and they're saying, look Charlie, I found all your old videos, so where's my money? But what they didn't even bother to do is looking at those titles to see if those videos are deleted. The answer is no, they're not. In that entire archive.org dump from my channel, all of those videos are still on my channel, except for a couple that got blocked from old copyright stuff. But they're not old videos. Those are like 2014 stuff that got blocked on that dump. So it's not what I was looking for, and no one even bothered to check, and they're still demanding money from me for it. So I just wanted to clear up all of that confusion quickly, alright? Like I said, it's not some easy lost media challenge. It would be something that would take tons and tons of work, and I don't even know if it'd even be possible, because like I said, YouTube can't recover them because this was before YouTube was bought by Google, so they don't have any archives of the deleted videos on their service anymore. So I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's even really possible. There's only been 2 people so far that have genuinely recovered some old content. One guy was able to find 10 seconds from an old glitch video that I posted, and then another guy was able to find an entire video that was deleted from another person's channel that had a commentary video of mine that I sent to them. From Pixel Enemy's channel, I made a guide for Star Wars Force Unleashed back in 2010, and that channel deleted it at some point along the way, and someone was able to actually recover it. So a bit later than what I was looking for, because it was never a video I posted or anything like that, but even still, that was extremely impressive, and one of the old, it is actually the only deleted video that has been recovered by someone so far. So yeah, I just wanted to do a PSA on that entire thing before showing you what I believe to be the most clever attempt at scamming me so far. This happened on stream a few nights ago. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/moistcritical. Please stop in, put a few extra inches on your penis. We have a lot of fun over there. I'm probably streaming right now, and I would love to see you there. So come on in and say hello to me right now. Twitch.tv/moistcritical. I'll put a link in the description. I see. This is a pretty good thumbnail. Halo 3 Dark Venom's Lone Wolf game. Let's see. Someone did it! No way! There's hope! Someone actually recovered one of the deleted videos. Let's fucking go. Is there audio? Hold on, I have it muted. No fucking way! Wait, how? Yeah, send me either an email or a DM or something. And tell me what kind of work went into this. I'm pretty optimistic now. That's fucking big. So this was one that I deleted, like genuine. This was not uploaded anywhere else. At least not that I'd ever found. It wasn't on archive way back. No random channel, nothing. This was a fully deleted in the void video. So Mabo Insano Hunter, make sure to DM me or email me. Which one? Who put that in the chat? Let me see. And I need to make sure you were like the actual one that did this and didn't just take someone else's work. But yeah, I'll pay for this one. It's 25 grand for the entire bounty, like if you find every single one of them, but I'll go video by video. But I want to know what kind of work went into this. How are you sure this is your video? Because I absolutely remember this. This is the right map. This is the right song. It's the right length. I never went above like 4 minutes. Also back then, you couldn't go above 9 minutes. 9 minutes was the limit, so I kept everything super short. Let me see. Let me see if they show the Dark Venom name. Because maybe you're right. Maybe they did just somehow... It'd take a lot of knowledge to be able to recreate it like this, though. Oh, you might be right. I don't see Dark Venom there. Oh, fuck, you might be right. But how? How would they... Wait, this is very deep now. Everything about this was right, but there is no Dark Venom here. As far as I remember, he didn't have another gamer tag. Because you mentioned the song in your YouTube Bounty Hunter video. That is true, I did mention the song, but I never mentioned the map. I don't think. I don't think I ever mentioned the map. I can't really rely on like my memories of how the match looked, because that's not very reliable. Yeah, you're right, Ashy360 did post it first. Huh, that is very odd. There is no Dark Venom here. Thank you, Twitch chat, for looking out. So Ashy was first, for sure. Comment your name down here, or like your email or something, so I can get in touch. They could have found the map on one of the stills from your video. True. That's true. I also... But this, again, I can't really rely too much on like my memory of the game itself. I don't think he even won the game. From what I recall, I don't remember him winning. I just remember him dropping a decent amount of kills, because like I said, we weren't good. We were never good. So him just doing well was like crazy to us. If you Google Lil John Paul 11, the guy's original channel pops up. Okay, let me see. The murder of John Paul I. That turned up nothing. You were right. That changed everything. I don't know what to believe, man. This has gotten very complicated. That means it's not recreated. That, again, that's why I'm saying it's very interesting. But if this was the Dark Venom game and he was... Like, this is all genuine... His name wasn't John Paul. His name was Nelson. Not to throw the guy under, but I have good memory. I remember Dark Venom's name. His real name was Nelson. It wasn't John Paul. So I don't know why I'd have a Lil John Paul name. And I don't think he ever had another one, because I only ever played with him as Dark Venom. And I'm pretty sure when I posted this, this was the title. He got the title right. He's missing an A. It was Dark with 2 A's, but this is it. This is what I titled it. I'm pretty sure he was Dark Venom in that video. I don't recall him being on the Lil John Paul account. What this also could be is someone just found an old gameplay free-for-all on this map and then set it to the song that I used back in the day, since I did mention the song. So they could have found this footage, but it's also not on this channel. So who would have posted this? One of these fucking milk-drinking children that didn't even drop 5 kills? Yeah, it is fake. There's a video by Perplexian Films. So this video is a video from Perplexian Films? Or is this just your channel now? You're right! Those goddamn ruffians! They tried to fake it. Nice. Chat. How did you find this? Actual fucking galaxy brain. That's low. That's pretty goddamn low. Thank you, chat. Huge. You can fool me. Well, I wasn't totally convinced either. I was the one that noticed the name, just saying. But you can't fool Twitch chat. How the fuck did you find this? So they took his video, pixelated it a little. Well, actually, they didn't even really need to drop the quality because it was a 2010 video. And they just put the song to it. Fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I don't think anyone will ever be able to recover those old videos. That's even more so scummy for the money aspect, but also just it's so immoral. You know how badly I want these videos back? To play with me like that? Ugh. You found it because Lil Jon is subbed to him. We have like real detectives in here. Thanks to give some spider in the prime horny. I wonder if I did contact them, what they would have said for how they recovered the video. Just fucking techno mumbo jumbo, just a bunch of jargon that doesn't make any sense. I tapped into the flux capacitors, vibrated at the correct kilojoules, recovered it from the ether. Damn, man, I got so fucking excited. Did you hear about the former bank robber who scammed collectors out of $2 million with fake PSA-graded Pokemon cards? I imagine a lot of PSA-graded cards that get sold on like eBay and shit are just completely fraudulent. But no, I didn't hear about it. Let's go here. Let's look it up. Former bank robber accused of faking PSA gradings for Pokemon cards. I just don't appreciate people slandering him just for being a former bank robber. That's just a mistake everyone makes growing up. We can't hold people to the person they were. It's the person that they become. I don't like this headline. Despicable. If you can't trust a bank robber, who can you trust?
He's one of America's most infamous bank robbers. Back in 2014, David Rose interviewed 43-year-old Anthony Curcio, who promised he had learned his lesson and would never go back to prison. Tonight, though, we've learned he is now charged in a new
that didn't age well.
crime. Now,
that's tough. Who could have seen that coming?
$400,000 from a Monroe bank in 2008, getting away in an inner tube down on a local creek.
Now flash forward and...
Whoa. This man made a getaway in an inner tube. What the fuck? Is he playing Grand Theft Auto? Say that again?
In 2008, getting away in an inner tube down on a local creek.
I gotta see how that played out. Bizarre bank robbery uses inner tube and Craigslist. 2008. Washington police are searching for a brazen bank robbery suspect after a bizarre heist and getaway. The suspect maced the guard of the armored truck before making his escape in an inner tube on the Skykomish River. Even more startlingly, he placed a Craigslist ad recruiting unsuspecting decoys to serve as diversion. Kind of big brain. The inner tube, though, surely there was a more efficient way. It's very cartoonish. People used to pull off the crime, didn't even know they were part of it till it was too late. He was wearing a dust mask, a particle mask. At first, I thought it might be a surgical mask. I still didn't think anything was wrong, just unusual. Then I noticed he had a pump sprayer. This reminds me of how Kim Jong-un killed his brother. You guys remember that story? Kim Jong-un hired, I don't remember who. He hired like just 2 random people, or it might have been 1 random person. I'm a little foggy on the details, to walk up and touch his brother on the neck with a poison-laced glove that pretty much killed him immediately. No, it was his brother. It wasn't his uncle. I'm almost positive it was his brother. That fact I don't think I got mixed up. But they had this whole plot, which was, I mean, it worked. They had this crazy nerve toxin, or yeah, I think it was a nerve toxin, a neurotoxin, something. They put it on this glove. They had the person wear it, and they had him go up and like brush against his brother. He immediately knew he got poisoned, tried getting help as quickly as he could, but died too fast. Yeah. Kim Jong-nam, the older half-brother of dictator Kim Jong-un, was assassinated at the airport in Malaysia. No, he fed his uncle to starving dogs. Yeah, see, that's super different. This is far more civilized. He learned from killing his uncle how to do it like a YouTube prankster way. With gloves and a tiny little slap to the back of his brother's neck, I think it was. Oh, he also killed one of his other uncles with an anti-aircraft missile. At least that's one of the rumors. Is that one true? I've never heard that. Kim Jong-nam death suspect thought she was in a TV prank. So this guy just pulled a page out of Kim Jong-un's playbook here, and it worked for him. Actually, Kim Jong-un copied him. He was riding his coattails, because this was 2008, and the assassination of his brother was in 2017. So, this guy's kind of the progenitor of the tactic. I'd really like to see that CCTV footage of him just fucking floating away on an inner tube with a big bag of money, giggling to himself as he does this.
Curcio's past and spoke to people who helped build this case.
Money, things are not the most important in this world. I promise you that.
What is?
Curcio, the former high school and college athlete, convicted of pepper spraying an armored truck driver and stealing nearly $500,000. For the last decade, Curcio has been on the up and up, speaking to kids about his mistakes, even authoring children's books. But now a huge difference to get a 10. In fact, according to the indictment, Bondarchuk and Curcio listed one of their cards, this '86 Michael Jordan, for more than $170,000. But the issue, investigators say, is Curcio and Bondarchuk were scamming buyers by creating counterfeit PSA grades.
It was about 10 grand. Yeah.
This guy's actually kind of famous on YouTube. He stars in a lot of videos like ex-bank robber attempts heist in GTA 5 and kids meet a bank robber. What? Kids meet a bank robber? Why? That's so weird. That's so weird. What's the point? Why is that someone you want kids to meet? That's dumb. That's stupid. Like, you as a parent, like, all right, come on. Back it up. We're going to go introduce you to a bank robber.
People like DJ and many others.
So, hold on. Wait, let me see that one more time. After being put on notice, the cards and grades and labels were fraudulent. Curcio and Bondarchuk repeatedly attempted to and did sell these very same cards to subsequent victims, again with fraudulent labels showing an inflated grade from Company 1. Interesting. Man, they got this one place, Manhattan Marketplace, through approximately $225K in fraudulent sales to 8 buyers. Holy.
People like DJ and many others across the country out of $2 million. Now, the 2 accused fraudsters face decades behind bars.
Then I lost 5 years in prison.
Well, what does he have to say about it?
Curcio said he would never return to.
I spoke to federal officials today who tell me that Curcio is out of custody. So I went to the home that is listed as his address to try to get a statement or a comment, but nobody answered. Reporting.
Come on, that could have been another YouTube video for you, Anthony. Bank robber meets a reporter. That could have been another banger up there with the kids meet a bank robber video. It's a great sequel. What the fuck, man? You're not even thinking. I bet this is happening far more often than people want to admit, though. Him and Banderchuck are certainly not the only ones doing this. Watcher even made a video covering his bank heist. It's called Unhinged Bank Heist of DB Tuber. That's a banger name. Fuck me, that's a great title. Rob a bank, 5 years in prison, sell fake Pokemon cards, decade in prison. Well, it's a repeat offense. So it's scaled up. Plus the amount fucking 4x'd almost. Well, actually more than 4x'd. Well, how much did they steal from the bank? I already forgot. But this is significantly more than they got from the bank, and it's the second time he's done it, so obviously he's going to get fucked harder in the face for it, rightfully so. Just a scumbag. He's just born to be a scumbag. He stole 400 grand. Oh yeah, fucking 5x'd it then. I found his children book, by the way. It's called My Daddy's in Jail. No, you're lying. You're fucking lying. That one I'm looking up ASAP. Give me 1 second. He called his children's book My Daddy's in Jail. No. Let's see. No, My Daddy's in Jail is a book by Janet M. Binder. So unless he's pulling like a J.K. Rowling, it's not... He's... Wow. He's the illustrator. So they didn't trust him enough to write it. He did the art, though. Let me see this. Actually, maybe someone did like a read-through. Oh, well, that's sad. I don't know what I was expecting there. I thought this was just going to be the book. But the first result is My Daddy's in Jail and I miss him. Sorry to hear that, Sprout. That's no good. That's not good. The night Dad went to jail. Oh, God. But here, Anthony Curcio even made a trailer for it 8 years ago. Oh, my God. What in the fuck is this? Written by an ex-con, endorsed by PhDs, school principals, and judges. Awesome book with inspiring message. Holy shit. Okay, that's going to get this shit DMCA'd real quick.
Coming at you straight out of the birdcage. It's tough for here, G, but me and the homies riding hard, and it's all good. We ballin'.
Anthony. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy. How did this guy get away with this shit for so long? Robbing banks, writing these weird fucking children's books, scamming Pokemon card collectors. Holy shit, this guy is he's legitimately like biologically engineered to be a scumbag. From the womb to the tomb. God damn. Cool art. It was a mistake. I'm a good roach, I promise. Jesus Christ, Anthony. Imagine he puts a quote from Chanderbuck on the back, or whatever his name was. Something... Chabernacle or whatever. I forgot his accomplice's name. Super fast book cover making tips plus tour of secret office of author Anthony Curcio.
First off, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of such an awesome event.
Hey, no problem, Anthony. Hey, no, thank you for coming.
When I got the, it was
Can you please, hey, Anthony, wait, hey, put down all the trading cards. Anthony, no, those belong to the children. Anthony, put down their school. Stop stealing everything, Anthony.
2 months ago that the staff there reached out to me, and you know, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it said something like, you know, a lot of our students really like your books, and we were wondering if you could make a short video for us and explain some of the processes that go into it, and specifically the covers. So For those of you that do not know me, my name is Anthony Curcio, and I am a children's book author and
The Boy Who Became King. LeBron James. The children's book. Did he get the rights to make that book on LeBron James? The Boy Who Never Gave Up. Stephen Curry. The children's book. That's so shameless, trying to just capitalize off their names for children books. Wow. Very cool, Anthony. You stole that too, huh? What an interesting guy. What an interesting guy.
illustrator. So, does anyone know what I have in common with the greatest children's book illustrators of all time?
Absolutely nothing. Legitimately nothing, Anthony. Nothing at all. I already know what he's going to say, though. He's going to say, I didn't quit. I never gave up.
Anybody? Well, really not that much. But our stuff starts.
Good one, Anthony. Actually, I didn't expect that. He's just like, yeah, literally nothing. I scam and steal from people. That's about it. That's all I got. All right, I'm going home now, kids. Hope you learned something. Bye-bye. Goodbye. No, I took everything out of your backpacks. Whine to your parents about it. What do you want from me?
Started the same way. The goggles on top and holding a book.
He's not a bad children's artist, to be honest with you. Like, legitimately, that's a decent style. I've been saying legitimately a lot when it comes to Anthony, when he's like the least legit person on the fucking planet. But that is actually not a bad style for a children's cartoon. Like, the style fits super well. It's a shame that he super sucks as a human being. That's a real bummer.
Airplane wings right in there as well. The book is, I think, to me, because you love my books. You know, you guys are on the other side of the country, and you're reading my books. I mean, that means the absolute world to me.
Thanks, Anthony. Hey, it's no problem at all, man. I can't wait for his new books to drop from his 30-year stay coming up in prison for his most recent scam and stealing. Those are going to be bangers. How painkillers can lead to heroin addiction? Why is Anthony talking on that too? Does he talk on everything? Does this guy, he's just a jack of all trades? Well, as a former heroin addict, I can tell you how I got there. And it all started with painkillers. I actually wrote 5 children's books on it.